All right. Good evening, everybody, on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, no, Sunday evening where I am. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday. Hope you're all doing good, man. I hope you're all really doing good today after a packed, busy Saturday in the world of Comic Con, Marvel Studios in DC. Tonight, we're going to do something not related to yesterday, but still related to Marvel, and that's Deadpool Wolverine. We're going to look over. We're going to look over Grace Randolph's spoiler review of the movie. Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about Grace Randall's spoiler review of the movie. Bear with me; it's 35 minutes long. Please, it's 35 minutes long. Yes, I believe it's 35 minutes long. Oh, so it's a long ass video. So we're gonna do our best to watch it, comment, see what she says, whether we agree or disagree, correct her on stuff, debunk her on stuff. What we what we do best here is what we do best. All right. And so yeah, so make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below, please. All right, there's coming up. There she is, Grace Randolph. All right, yeah. All right, man. All right, that's Grace Randolph. I think I sent out some invitations to some people. There's people to chat. Hey, yo, blinded. Um, blinded, come in. Like you, like the other day. I have a headache this time. Bit of a headache this time. So I might let you do some talking, more talking this time. But I really want to do the stream. And my eyes are watery. Oh my god! Did the link work? Did the link work? That's what I know. Did the link work? Cause yeah, all right. If it did work, thank you. All right. Please leave a like. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff, the typical stuff. Yeah, I do have a bit of a headache. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. Even when I did my video earlier today, I had the headache. I had to fight it. I had to fight the headache. All right, thank you, blinded. You know what? While you do that, maybe I'm gonna take an Advil or something. Tylenol. Okay, I'm back. I took an Advil. Maybe it will help relieve the headache as this goes on. I'm just hoping, guys. All right, man. Blinded is coming on. I'm Finbar. I don't know if Finbar's coming on, but it's gonna be fun. Blinded. I'm gonna let Blinded tell a story on here before we get this video around done. Uh, Red, I don't know if you're in here, man. Red, where are you, buddy? I don't know if you're in here. Hey, Tony, Red, you're not in, buddy. Um, yeah, you guys come on in, watch. Anybody, yeah, right. Degrassi, I know you're here. All right, come watch this. Come watch. Try my best. Tuesday we're talking about what happened yesterday. That's Tuesday. Because tomorrow I gotta do my wrestling show because I skipped a week. So I gotta get back to it. I'm just waiting for Blinded. I don't think Finbar's gonna join us. All right. Oh, here is a man that should never gamble ever again in his life. Never.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I'm pretty sure Deadpool is going to make a billion, but we will see. But I mean, the numbers. I mean, by
Yeah,
next weekend, it's
technically,
probably going to make 700 at least. So
here's the thing, Blinded. You didn't win that. Finbar did not win that bet. You did not lose that bet yet. Okay, that bet is still on, technically.
yeah, but I think it's highly likely it's going to get a
Yes,
billion. I
yes,
mean, it really.
yes.
I mean, even if it drops, like I don't know, more than 50%, it's still gonna
This,
make at least
it'll be so
a
funny if
billion.
it'll be so funny if it lands at exactly at 999 million.
Man, that would be pretty crazy. I mean, it's just that in August there is some stuff, but it's nothing to compete with
I
this
don't.
movie,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, yeah. You got aliens. Aliens. Maybe they'll maybe do a
Yeah.
little bit good. Well,
Aliens will knock
Borderlands.
it out of number one, but next
Yeah,
weekend this it's gonna be number one for at
yeah.
least
Over
3 weekends.
Borderlands. Yeah, because Borderlands comes up next week, I
Yeah,
think.
Borderlands I think is gonna flop, but um, yeah, the Doom thing. Okay, here's the thing, right? Because I kind of wish we talked about Grace's reaction now that we know what.
It's so long. Her reaction is like 42 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes, but
Oh my god,
because
it's
what was
35
that?
minutes. This one's 35.
Yeah, I watched this video before. Yeah, because this one was the one where she actually went into detail about stuff. The thing is, it's gonna be hard to critique this video because it's like, yeah, I like the movie and I watched this video beforehand and I didn't really have an issue with it. I thought she made some good points.
Valid points. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so, but the doctor, I mean, the thing is, you know what's crazy? That leaked before, like everybody
And
just thought it
everybody
was
dismissed
fake.
it
Yeah, because we
because
talked about we're like, oh,
this is unbelievable.
Jeff Snyder said that Robert Downey Jr. was gonna play Doctor Doom in the Avengers movies, and we all thought it was bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is, it's definitely not going to be the MCU Doctor Doom.
No,
I highly doubt that.
people. That's what I've been saying. We're gonna get more on this on Tuesday, obviously with the Doctor Doom Twist. They set up a stream for Tuesday if you're available for that. We're talking about like what happened tomorrow,
Yeah,
specifically what happened at the end of Comic Con. But that's what I've been saying. I don't think this is like the Doctor Doom of the MCU. I think it's just
yeah. It doesn't even. I mean, because I was reading the subreddit and yeah, this is like honestly, I don't think there's anything more mixed I've seen about Marvel in
a long time.
I would say ever. Like this was very like like
Yes,
there's people who are hardcore MCU stands who are like, yeah, that's it, man. They kind of
I
lost the plot. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like,
well, I said in my video, and you know that you're more comic book knowledge than me. I think this is something to do with what you told me in Discord, like yesterday, as we were. That's what I
Well,
was
I
saying.
think it has. I think well, whatever they're gonna do, it's definitely going to be
Yeah,
original. But I think they're in
inspired
taking.
by that.
Well, yeah, they're taking inspiration from a lot
Yeah.
of stuff. But here's the thing. Because this is kind of funny, right? Because there there's okay. First off, Iron Man has been Doctor Doom in like I think it was like a one shot story. And then there was like um the Exile comics.
Mhm.
Uh, he was also like a Doctor Doom. Like Iron Man was actually Doctor Doom, and but there was one time Iron Man swapped bodies with Doctor Doom. Yeah, I don't know too much about that, but
Was it still
I
Tony
just know
Stark?
that it was Victor Von Doom in Tony Stark's body, and it was called
You
it was
think?
like a play on a demon in a bottle. I forget the
Oh,
title. But I mean, the one that came to mind when I first heard this was obviously
yeah.
the infamous Jesus, infamous. Oh my God, infamous Iron Man, which was not too long ago. That was like 8 years ago now, like 2016, around when Marvel did the all new
Hmm.
Marvel, and we had Ironheart, Civil War II, and obviously from that event, Iron Man. Well, Iron Man died, but then he came back, and so there was two Iron Man comics. There was the Invincible Iron Man, and then there was the
Yeah.
infamous Iron Man, which is where Victor Von Doom is takes on the mantle of Iron Man, and I mean he's kind of like a hero, but he's mostly a villain.
But this is
So,
not. But this is not. This is not that. This is not the case here because this is Victor Von Doom. He does not become Iron Man. He just because.
well, we don't know.
That's true. That's true.
Anybody's saying we don't know because he says they never said yeah he's playing Doom. We don't know if he's playing a Tony Stark variant. Is he playing
Or
Victor Von Doom, a variant? We don't really know. My guess is
he's Victor Von Doom. Yeah.
well I think he's a version of Victor Von Doom that's some type of amalgamation with Tony Stark because first off if this is supposed to be the multiverse saga,
That people
there's a
forget
lot
that.
of stuff.
I think people forgot. This is a multiverse saga, guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff with this announcement because there's
people.
also another funny thing about this because there was Kang in the comics at one point was Tony Stark, and it was like a
What
twist,
people are
right?
people.
And this
I know.
and if you were around like during like peak MCU days, there was a massive theory that was always like a joke theory that in Endgame it was going to be revealed that Tony Stark was Kang.
Oh yeah.
And so the thing is, I think that idea,
Yeah,
I,
you're
I
right.
think
You're
that's
exactly
actually
yeah.
something they're gonna do.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's so funny. Like not. This is not to the same extent. Chris Evans came back as Johnny Storm, guys. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, he's Victor Von Doom,
Yeah.
but he's clearly not going to be the Victor Von Doom. I think he has to be some. I mean, first off, it would be really weird if you have Robert Downey Jr. playing another character in the
Now
multiverse saga. And by the way, Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to play Doctor Doom in the original Fantastic Four movie.
the one from 2005 or
Yes,
2004. Well, I didn't know that.
yes.
Maybe that's the reason why. Hey, you know what? Might as well.
Well, there's a lot of different stuff there. I was like, that's why when I heard this, I'm like, yeah,
I
that's pretty
mean,
surprising
I
and
like that
shocking.
Doctor
But
Doom. I actually like that actor for that Doctor Doom back then. I thought he was all right.
here, yeah, that actor's not that bad. But I think okay. The thing is, if it is just he is the MCU Doctor Doom, yeah, that's a fucking waste. I don't know that would make me incredibly disappointed. If it's a multiverse version of both characters and he's you know like some take on the 2015 because now it seems like to me like they're gonna do both Secret Wars just minus Beyonder, like it's just gonna be more focused on Doom. But
Doom.
like there's
I
just there I, like I just have a hard time believing that because the thing is if you make him the Victor Von Doom of the MCU, they ain't gonna use Doom going forward then.
no.
So that's why I'm like he's clearly not the Victor Von Doom. He's some he has to be some multiverse version. And on top of that too, when they were on stage, they had all these different Dooms. Now, you could say, "Oh, that's because there's the Doombots," but also the Doombots kind of mirror Tony Stark's Ultron and Iron Man League in the MCU. So there's a lot of like parallels too, where it's like it's kind of hard to deny.
If that's the
Yeah,
case,
that's what I mean. He's playing one version of Doctor Doom.
if this is the case, you might as well just you should just be cast Kang then.
Well, the thing is, they could have done Kang if Kang was a white guy, because Tony Stark, like I said, Tony Stark was Kang, and
Oh,
right now in the Ultimates comics,
I
they're
mean,
actually setting that up where Tony
well,
Stark is
Kang
going to
is
become
originally a white
Kang.
guy.
Yeah, but
That
I
makes
think
sense.
the reason why they're just like, you know what, just forget about it. Like the thing
Yeah,
is,
yeah, that's what I
yeah, they
said.
just switched out Doom. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like you know how there's the multiverse versions of Doom and Reed Richards. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they
Good point.
show that, right? So,
Good point. Because
but
remember, John Krasinski is a different was Reed Richards, but he wasn't Pedro Pascal. It's John Krasinski.
right, and I don't see why they.
Yeah,
I mean, I just think it would be way more interesting if it is, hey, this is a what if scenario, because we
and
never
it's
this they never talked about this in the multi. This is what we were saying before, right? A good
there's
multiverse story, it should be like what if. So this is a cool what if. What if Iron Man became a villain? You know, what if he was never the hero? What happens if he was, if he's the ultimate hero of the sacred timeline, maybe in another universe he's the total opposite.
there's also people online saying they Marvel is doing another whitewashing a character. Or
Yeah,
people,
because Doctor Doom is Romanian, but that's such a
yeah.
stretch to me. I like
Well, I wouldn't be.
Romanians are Eastern Europe, and they're like
Well, I mean, it's not the first time
I
they
mean,
killed
I
him
know
over.
they
It's
did
not
that
the
with Scarlet Witch, and we complained,
and
but
it fixed over. Yeah,
like, who cares? This is the thing, right? That's why it's like when they said a new mask, same task. Like, to me, that meant okay, he's Doctor Doom, but he's not. He's obviously going to be some version of Tony Stark as well. We just don't know to what extent. Um, which I mean, I think that's the part that's interesting. At least it's like, oh, we're finally doing something that actually seems like this would be a multiverse story. It's like, oh, one of the heroes is the villains, um, but they won't look the same. I don't know about that, but I mean, we'll see, right? Uh, I just would prefer if he was just one version of Doom, and I guess you can
mm,
have him play other variants, but by the end of this entire
I guess
saga, there's
I
going to
guess
be an MCU version of
I
Doctor
guess
Doom.
DC. I guess DC cannot make a movie called Superman Doomsday.
Well,
It
I don't think they
sucks.
were ever going to,
I
but
know. But they had but they had an animated series, right? I think there was
I
an
mean, I
animated.
thought there were. I mean, it would have been cool if they called it Doom War, but it might be too repetitive. But because I mean that is a storyline, right? That
I
is,
felt like when they caught Avengers Doomsday, we knew it was Doom, but I felt like it took a cheap shot at DC or something. Like,
yeah, it's just Doomsday. Because I guess he's the one. I'm guessing he's going to be the one who either creates Battle World. I'm also my another theory I have is Battle World will become the Void.
oh man,
Um, it kind of makes sense, right? Because it's like that's something that Loki talked about, Deadpool talked about in this movie, like with Cassandra wanting to basically erase all the timelines and dump it into the void. So that's kind of my guess. It feels like, yeah, they're kind of maybe setting that up potentially, and I think it would be kind of cool too. But I also feel like the plot, because this is why I kind of wish we talked about Grace Randolph's video, because she kind of like was like, oh, they're clearly just doing the 2015 version of Secret Wars, and you're like, well, wait a minute. They have they have two big characters from the original um Secret Wars on the villain side. Wouldn't it make sense if they do the heroes versus the villains and Robert Downey Jr. is leading the villains team and the hero team as well? Maybe that might piss off people. Maybe that might be a little bit weird, but I mean, it might be something interesting for him. I don't know how well that would go with
I don't know.
audiences.
Guys, look, guys. If DC ever did a multiverse story, don't be surprised if Ultraman looks like Superman. The same actor plays Ultraman. It's the same one playing Superman or
Well, would they
Batman.
even do Ultraman
I'm just
knowing
saying,
what they know
I'm
now?
just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, or like Batman, Owlman is Thomas Wayne. It's not Bruce Wayne. Thomas Wayne.
I mean,
Like
the thing is with DC, I mean, they're not going to just copy Marvel. They're going to do their own thing. And
I
I
mean, like
think DC right now should stay the fuck away from multiverses.
they are.
Just
I'm
do
just
the
saying.
Elseworlds. Elseworlds is appropriate.
Do Batman who fuck you.
Multiverse crossovers and doing crisis events. Yeah, like build up this universe before you start doing
Oh no, they're
stuff like
not doing
that.
multiverse in DC yet. That's probably a long way
Yeah,
off.
that's a long way off. And after the Flash, I don't know if they
I mean,
really.
look, Wonder Woman's counterpart is Superwoman. She's not even Diana Prince. It's Lois Lane.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, yeah, getting the crime syndicate. I don't know that. I mean, we'll see. But with this stuff, I think this.
Oh, I don't
I
think they
mean,
did a
at
crime
least
syndicate at all.
with this announcement, it wasn't like, yeah, people could say it's desperate. I would definitely say it is desperate, but it's like also a kind of like,
That's
if you think about it, if you really think about it, it's like, oh shit. Yeah, it's desperate, but it's also kind of clever. So it's like that's why I'm like, I need to see it
to
really
believe
because
it.
it's like we
Yeah,
don't really.
it's a wait and see
There's so
approach.
many different things you could go with in terms of but yeah, Grace really shouldn't discount the original Secret Wars because it's like they have Galactus now and you have Doom. You could bring back Thanos. You could bring back a couple of other villains that were a fan favorite like Hela. Put them on the villain team, and then make them go up against the Avengers and the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and the X-Men are probably going to be from this timeline. And in the original Secret Wars, the X-Men were kind of like um, they weren't super trustful of the Avengers and the Fantastic Four. So, and I mean, and in this movie, we do see Wolverine kind of like. I mean, it wasn't. It was very brief, but it does seem like in his universe, the Avengers did exist, and he doesn't
Hmm.
like them. So, um, I mean, yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, I think the reaction, I get the reaction of why people are like, they're not a fan of it. I get it, but I don't know. This feels like what they should have done with Scarlet Witch, make a hero into a villain. But this is obviously going to mirror Endgame as well, right? There's no doubt that they're going to tie this into Endgame.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It was a cool announcement. I was definitely shocked. Um, but yeah, just don't make him the Doom. That's my only like concern, because then you would be wasting
The
lots of
reaction
stories. Yeah, we're gonna have to speed through this because, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough points to talk about this because I did watch this
Okay, let me.
and
How much you want to put it to playback speed?
1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
out of the gate hasn't been enthusiastic
Oh my
across the
god.
board,
Okay,
mostly at the
actually
box
two,
office
two,
and the
two.
audience.
Two?
1.2. 1.2.
Yeah, that was like, oh my god, it was
Yeah.
like she's high when on
Yeah,
1.5.
yeah. She talks a little fast then.
Yeah. 2.21 point.
Yeah.
Scores end up being. Critics, I'm not sure if maybe the movie's too inside baseball. I said that might maybe end up being an issue for the film in my non-spoiler review. Sometimes people, audiences don't love talking about Hollywood, a lot of them. And then also
Well,
sometimes,
period. Pause. I said
some
period. Jesus.
Yeah, you did say
I
period.
think she is kind of right about that. I seen it in twice in theaters, and yeah, most people did not laugh at the jokes about like those were really meant for hardcore fans. Like this movie is probably the most hardcore Marvel like member berries Easter eggs movie. Because if you really are only an MCU fan, or if you like lightly watched some of the X-Men movies, there's still some references that will go over your head. And
Yeah.
on top of that too, if you don't know like the whole like corporate drama and like Disney buying
Hmm.
out Fox, and yeah, that's because I know like there's still people who are like they thought like Fox like owned Spider-Man and shit like that, right? Like they don't even know what's going on. But yeah, so she was kind of right.
Critics and some people think that it's crass. You know, they're like, but what about the art? And you're like, but it's Deadpool. He always breaks the fourth wall. Of course he would talk about
Yeah.
that. He has a movie coming out in the middle of this
Oh
huge
yeah, that's what
transition
Degrassi
from
told me.
Fox to-
Degrassi told me when he went to see the screening. He told me like some people in his screen did not like the fourth wall breaking.
I mean, it is Deadpool, so I mean, you kind of like.
Also, it's not 81 anymore; it's 79 now from critics.
Oh, 79. Damn.
Yeah, but still 97 audience.
I mean, it doesn't mean. I mean, yeah, this movie was definitely critic proof. So I don't think it really mattered in the long run, unless it was
No.
like panned. You know what I mean? Then
But
yeah, shit.
Metascore is harsh. That's harsh.
Metacritic for movies is always harsh. So I mean, that's not.
I feel like you could probably have some
Crazy.
bitter people running it, or bitter critics. Something has to be a
Not
master.
really, because I mean, if you look at the bottom right there, it says 55, but if you look, it's mostly positive reviews.
It has to
So
get-
I think Metacritic is also dependent on. I mean, well, it's their aggregator is probably different, right?
Oh yeah.
Than Rotten Tomatoes, because I guess it's like, okay, yeah, it's still positive, but it's split, so that's why it has a 55. So people look at it and they think it's like Rotten Tomatoes, but it's not. And even the Rotten Tomato score is kind of misleading because it's 81. Well, you said it's 79.
79 now. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have bet on that instead. Fuck, but I got that right. But anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
You're lucky he's not in the chat rubbing it in your face right now.
yeah, there's two things. I lost two big bets, and then I got two things right
That you did
about
bet
this movie.
on.
Fucking insane. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so on Rotten Tomatoes, if you actually look at the top critic, it's actually like 60 something. It's pretty low. But the score that you see is like all critics, right? So I don't know what like, yeah, they're the top critics because they work for the major publications, but I don't know. It just seems a little like most people are not gonna click on it. It's kind of even like awkward to navigate it and actually show the top critic rating. But let's continue.
Yeah. Let's continue.
to Disney for these characters. And then also it might just be anger against Disney, expectations set too high. Although I was able to pivot when I saw the movie. We'll talk
Every Marvel movie has like expectations are too high. They always do that. Always do that.
Yeah.
about that in a moment. But anyway, we'll discuss this. The performance of the film in depth on Movie Math on Sunday.
You did do that.
But yes, this is a spoiler
I
review,
saw
so you've
some of
been
that.
warned.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so yes, no other original X-Men from the films showed up.
Yeah. Well, why is Lady Deathstrike there? She's not a. Oh, there's. I guess. Oh, you do have the villains there. Okay. McNeil's in the back. Well, that's true. Only Lady Deathstrike in this picture showed up. That's
Yeah.
the only one. And then, by the way, it is Kelly Hugh. We thought it was not the same actress. It is actually the same actress.
Okay. By the way, there was because I was going back and looking through and seeing lots of scoopers got a lot of shit wrong.
Yeah.
The one that like stood out, and I thought he was gonna be in the movie was what's that guy? He's on he's in X2 and he's in Succession. What was his name? Brian Cox. Is it Brian Cox?
Oh, a Striker, right?
Yeah,
That version
Stryker.
Yeah. Brian
Yeah,
Cox is right,
Stryker's
yeah.
not in the movie, so yeah.
No. Why was it
So
Kevin
I
Nash
think
Walsh
the
then?
person who said that, I believe, was Casey Walsh.
Casey Walsh.
Yeah. So
A lot of people said
I don't know if he
Stryker.
retracted it, but I did see that.
Well,
Yeah.
remember, they purposely gave fake leaks. Scoops.
Yeah, they gave a lot of the scoopers My Time to Shine. Pretty much, I want to say every single, like the scoopers that always yarp, like they just yap. That's what I
Yeah.
want to say. Constantly yapping. They got pretty much all the movie wrong.
That's a good question, Degrassi. You know what? I should ask him on his podcast. You can send mailbag questions to his podcast. I should ask. Maybe I should send him a mailbag question to Degrassi.
Who?
Or maybe he's already done
Campia?
it.
Who?
No, Kevin Nash. Who
Oh,
played the
Kevin
Russian
Nash.
Punisher, yeah. The wrestler, yeah. The actually makes a great point.
Yeah, Kevin. I mean,
They
if
didn't
they
end
were
up
gonna
being.
get Kevin Nash, I mean, they should have got Thomas Jane, right?
Yeah. But it was Kelly Hu, everybody. Yeah, Kelly Hu was back as Deathstrike. We just didn't get a good view because the shots we tried to get of Lady Deathstrike, they were not the good best shots. They were all zoomed out. You couldn't really tell who it
Yeah,
was.
they were like just henchmen to fill
Yeah.
the
And
scene.
and and Juggernaut was like the obvious. The only thing you could tell by Deathstrike was the claws, and that's it. You couldn't really
Right.
tell from the.
Yeah,
Being in
I
the
mean,
film.
yeah, we'll get
And
to
I
that.
talked to
Okay.
my source about this. I've had a lot of conversations actually about this movie with my source, but I couldn't share them with you because I didn't want to to spoil the film.
Bullshit.
So, but anyway, it seems that the OG X-Men were included, which is why I reported it in earlier versions of the script, and it just didn't pan out. In fact, those versions not only included the TVA as well, but also Kang, and obviously that's currently an issue for the MCU. Now, my source had told me, my source on this had
She
told
doesn't
me
do
that.
this stuff anymore. I thought she said she doesn't do scoop. And look, she's one of these
Grace
scoopers
Randolph?
too. She's one of those scoopers too. Okay, this anonymous scooper. She's in that category too. Okay, she's in that category too.
Grace Randolph. I don't think she's talked about major scoops recently.
Okay, but she's
Sure,
still in that
Carter.
category. Don't you agree? Yeah, I'll put her in that category. She doesn't.
I mean,
doesn't
unless
go-
she makes another scoop claim, then yeah.
Yeah.
But right
but she
now, I
doesn't-
mean, she's not. I think
She used
she did say that she's not gonna do scoops anymore.
because she's bullshitting. She doesn't have scoops. She doesn't have sources. I don't think she has sources.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say she probably
is the-
has like some connection somewhere. People like
This
whispering
is the
in her
same
ear,
woman who
but I
said,
don't know.
"Oh, this is the same woman who said after the Snyder Cut got released, oh, Warner Brothers is good looking at doing a Justice League 2 and 3 with Zack Snyder coming back."
Oh yeah, that was 100% bullshit. But that was a different time. That's what I mean.
That was a Justice 20. Yeah, that was 3 years ago. And she's the one that said Bane's going to be in.
Yeah, and Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least,
not
look,
sure.
Jeff Schneider, at least he's an asshole. I know he's been known to be an asshole, but at least he gets stuff right.
Yeah, he definitely went up recently with a lot of his
Yeah.
scoops. So, I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't build up any scooper because I think honestly the whole like scooping thing now, yeah, I kind of wish it just goes away. Like, I honestly like I think it personally it's more fun to speculate. Like, I really don't want to know every single fucking detail. Like, yeah, maybe until the last minute, obviously.
Yeah.
You know me, but like, yeah, I don't want like this like 2 years of like constantly telling people, no, this is exactly what they're gonna do, and then it happens. It's like, it's not interesting. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like you kind of suck out the fun. So yeah, I'm kind of like screw the scoopers,
Oh, yeah,
especially in the
most of
video game
I-
space.
Yes, Degrassi. The scoopers were just making shit up. A lot of them
Yeah, they were
making
making
shit up.
They're constantly making up shit now. I think honestly the Marvel subreddit should just like every
Dissolve.
like main scooper should just get fucking
Kicked out.
bumped down. I would I mean, because they still have to be on the tier system because that's how the subreddit works. But they should get knocked down pretty far on the tier
Yeah,
list.
they should get
'cause-
demoted. They should get penalized
Yeah, definitely.
for lying and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, these scoopers
Are
have
they not?
these
They're
scoopers
not
have
mods,
also
are they?
ruined.
They don't have like.
No, they're not mods. So
Okay, so yeah, then you could punish them.
yeah.
There were no OG X-Men in the film weeks ago. And in fact, I knew there weren't a lot of cameos overall. And that's why I tweeted this poll on July 8th. You know, I couldn't say anything, but I was trying to give you like a discreet heads up, you know? And to my surprise, the vast majority of you answered that you didn't actually care about the cameos. And so I was.
Yeah, because
Because they got disappointed last time.
I think we're all in agreement, as long as the movie is good.
Well, I think most
like,
of her
oh, that's-
fans got burnt, right?
That's true too. That's true. Good point. All right.
Good news for this movie. But how do you feel now? Was that just talk? Now that you've actually seen the film and you see the number of cameos they actually ended up having, I think it works.
Yeah, the
because it's
cameos
primarily
weren't
Deadpool and
a
Wolverine
ton.
film. And I think some
Like
of the
people
cameos.
were saying, like, you know, I hate those shills. I can't stand them. That's another like trend I hope goes away is like these people who do the social media reaction and then they just go, "Oh my God, my dick was through the roof and I was jizzing when this happened." Like, shut up, man. Like it's just like you because they don't have anything interesting to say and it's all just so they can get into the marketing campaign. But it's just like
Yeah, they're
who
biased. They'll say
yeah,
anything.
like this movie, like the way that they all describe it, I would have never described it as like this gory cameo stuff. I would say it's
Oh,
like this movie is
here's
my
the
time
thing.
expose themselves.
No, they're actually,
They're not. They're still not.
they're not. They're two different people. But I think a lot
They're
of
two different
scoopers.
people.
I think a lot of scoopers are in cahoots with each
The
other.
the they are because the subreddit the
Yeah.
mods have come out and talked about that.
Yeah,
No,
they're in
a
cahoots.
week
So.
Toast is gone.
Toast
That
is
guy
gone. Yeah.
split. Yeah,
After
because
what
they were
Marvel?
trying to
Yeah, with
Marvel
Marvel.
tried to subpoena him,
Yeah.
or Instagram tried to Marvel tried to subpoena Instagram to
Through
get the
Instagram. Yeah,
information.
with
Yeah,
Instagram.
who he was, and then he just split. And on top of that, too, the mods on the Marvel subreddit they've said countless times that they have evidence that they're two different people. So I'm inclined to they have evidence.
Yeah.
The mods haven't lied. I don't see why they would lie about
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, the guys are two different people, but we know they're in cahoots.
They're in cahoots definitely because
Yeah.
they've talked before, and the thing is like they've also
They have
timed
like a
stuff
club or something.
strategically.
They have like a club. They know each other. I'm sure they know each other.
Yeah, they had there has to be some
Yeah.
people who like they know each other or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's just no way that they're the same person because it doesn't really make any sense to like we know that My Time to Shine is definitely a woman.
But there is.
So
They do. They do. They. My Time John has been retweeting gambling stuff. And I know some other
yeah,
scoopers have been doing it too. So like.
because they got it because they're grifters. It's just that they're not content creators, right? So.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna make any money on X. I don't know what, like, I don't even understand why people, as like content creators, like, why are you even posting on X? You're not making anything. You might as well just go to places where you're could build a following. That's why, if you notice, Toast he went to Instagram because he wasn't on Twitter, because he wanted to make money, obviously, and then he opened up a Patreon too. So they're all
Yeah, Twitter is
grifters.
not the best place for money. Even though you could make money, it's not the
No.
best. Well,
Well,
I mean,
you're not actually. I don't think anybody actually makes money. Like only like maybe like top people who are like in cahoots with Elon or Elon likes they make
does
money.
Grace
Everybody
make any money
else,
does Grace make any money from Twitter? Because she has
well,
like
she has the
this.
stars, right? She has a subscriber thing, so
But yeah,
possibly.
but
Yeah, if you have the subscriber thing, but if you're like a regular content creator and you're like
yeah,
quote unquote monetized, because remember they were pushing that. I don't believe that shit. It's all
X
fucking.
X, no, no.
The thing is, like, My Time to Shine, I mean, I'm surprised these people, like, as lazy as they are, like, why not just open up a YouTube channel and just make AI fucking
Oh,
videos?
there's a lot of YouTubers that make up shitty Marvel rumors up too, man. Oh,
Yeah, like, it's like, you can get, like,
oh
once
my
that
gosh.
Doctor Doom rumor hit, like, people got, like, 500,000, not 500,000, half a million views, within, like, 4 hours,
Yeah, it's one
you
of
know,
it's one of the
like,
biggest engagements in a long, long
yeah,
time.
people were, yeah, it was one of the most, I mean, that was a big deal, right? So, but I don't know. These scoopers are really like I said, they're lazy fucks. They can't be bothered. They just want to,
And when you,
they just want the attention, right? The engagement
and they
quick.
get so defensive too.
Yep. But yeah, they're lazy. Just like, yeah. But anyway, let's
Yeah.
continue.
Are excellent. And I think that they carry the day because of that. You know, they're not only excellent, but they're extended. I loved Gambit. I thought that was great. We have a lot to talk about. Now, to me, as I just said, I liked the movie because it ended up being such a heartfelt and effective celebration of Wolverine, who I'm a big fan of. And then also Deadpool. I think Deadpool, while he's been wonderful in his previous films, felt the most Deadpool-y he's ever felt in this film. I was like, wow, that is very Deadpool. That was excellent. And it ended up not being a celebration of the Fox Marvel movies.
You know, it's
which
funny.
would have been very expensive, although there's...
Go ahead.
You know, it's funny because where would Deadpool be if they listened to Grace Randolph 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Grace Randolph was the one. I don't think you remember if you remember this, but Grace Randolph, when Deadpool was first being announced and came out, she was on this whole, oh, it's got to be PG-13 because kids really love Deadpool, and Deadpool is a big merchandise thing for Marvel, and why would they make it a rated R movie, and let's make a PG-13 cut. I mean, I don't know. What would have happened if they decided to make that first Deadpool movie PG-13? I mean, man, I think it would be a totally different story. What would be going on?
I mean, look, face it, guys.
This movie definitely wouldn't exist.
If Deadpool, people have to understand, if Deadpool does end up in the Avengers like style movie, it's not going to be R.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be R, but now, I mean, this movie. There, by the way, there was a lot of kids at the screening.
Sure,
and
I'm
the,
not surprised.
and also, another thing that was kind of crazy was they have Deadpool at Disneyland.
Yeah. Well,
So
there are versions of Deadpool as PG-13.
yeah, but this version of that, like, it's an advertisement for the movie.
Yeah.
That's like that's I feel like the biggest
And
deal because this pretty much means, at least for Marvel. I don't know about DC, but definitely for Marvel, like rated R movies, like there's no excuse anymore, right? If you have a character who matches better with a rated R content, you might as well, especially if they are popular, you might as well just make it rated R.
I mean, you could do Batman rated
Because
R.
because at this point they're not. It's not like it's gonna be, the first Deadpool is pretty heavy on like sex,
Wonder Woman.
but this
Yeah.
movie is not heavy on sex. It's more like
There's no
blood
sex.
and
There's
swearing and
yeah, that's
so.
because they know it's a Marvel Studios Disney movie.
Yeah,
So
they made this move. It's definitely rated R, but it's definitely not like nudity and all this stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, which is fine. I mean, like we
Yeah.
don't need rated R movies. To me, we don't need just because of rated R. We don't need nudity in it or anything. Just
Yeah, I think
right?
people just want the gore and the swearing and talk about darker themes and not be held back, right?
I mean, look, you could do Batman easily rated R, like easily. His style,
Yeah,
his.
I mean,
I mean,
I mean, looking back at it now that we have another Batman,
and
it would have been cool if the Batman was rated
this,
R to see what they would have done with it.
the
But
stuff in the comics and the Batman comics, the stuff that Joker does, it's like really, it's borderline rated R stuff.
yeah, yeah, they don't. Look
The
at
Arkham
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight became mature, right? It was the first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arkham Knight was a mature game. It's not really heavy on blood or gore, but yeah, it's a
yeah.
lot more darker compared to other Batman media. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was really interesting to see that. Yeah, this is like this movie's, it did get to 200. It did.
Which is
So, I mean, which that was like pretty crazy to see that. I think it's the 8th biggest opening of all time, so that was a pretty big deal.
oh, it's funny. Oh, you think it's gonna go? I mean, yeah. Well, you think it's gonna go rated R? Batman. Batman one, the first
Hmm.
Batman movie, Matt Reeves. That was not rated R, but it was 14, wasn't it?
No, they don't have 14 in the States though.
But what it was it 17? It wasn't PG-13.
No, our rating is different from theirs, right? Because
But I
we
mean,
have
oh
we
yeah.
have 14 and then so we have PG, and then we have 14. And 14 is like pretty much
Okay,
like an in between of like a PG-13 and a rated R.
okay, it was 14 here in Toronto, in Canada.
The Batman,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think it was 14 here. What was it in the states?
Possibly, but it was PG-13 in the States.
Was it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was not a rated R movie.
I know that wasn't rated R. I thought it was in the between. In
Yeah, the
between.
in between for them is PG-13.
Oh really? I
Yeah.
must. Okay.
They don't really have a um I mean they've talked about it, but I don't know. The American rating system is so bogus. There's a documentary about it. It's so dumb as hell. I
Isn't
mean,
there G
America's
rated? Isn't
dumb,
there
but
G
yeah.
rated and PG?
There's G, PG,
What's
and then there's PG-13, and then there's rated R, and then there's X.
yeah?
And yeah, you don't want to get an X because no one will distribute it and no theaters will play it. So
It's called XXX.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I mean, I do wonder too, because I keep saying like they can make a lot of money if they have like an unrated cut for this movie. Because it does feel like that too. Like there's some stuff where it's like they feel like there's something else. Um, so little bits of scenes that they could have. I mean, it's Deadpool too. It's mostly jokes and all types of stuff, right? So
Yeah, let's continue on because we're only 3 minutes in.
This movie ended up being very expensive anyway. It does make me wonder, though, that maybe these two, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, might end up being the only Fox Marvel characters to make the jump to the MCU, as they literally do in this movie.
Well, we already saw Beast.
yeah, Beast. Yeah, that is true. But I'm not.
I know.
Well, I think no, I don't think she's right here. I mean, we did have Charles Xavier, right?
No, Charles
He's
Xavier.
was in an MCU movie.
Technically, yeah.
So yeah, I think I feel like they're going to have Professor X, Wolverine, Deadpool, possibly Cyclops. I'm also going to say Gambit, and at least for like Secret Wars. And who else?
Perry.
Storm, yeah, Storm. Because I think if you're there's definitely going to be X-Men characters.
I think
Um,
at least the 4 he mentioned in this movie.
like I mean, at this point we know unless they drop a bomb on us in the next like year and a half. I mean, X-Men is at the earliest would be what 2027, like after Secret Wars,
Yeah.
like maybe even 2028. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I feel like it would kind of, I mean, with the story now and what we've seen with Deadpool and Wolverine, it would kind of make sense if it was just the Fox X-Men who were on Battle World, right? I would even say maybe Doom. I don't know. Is Doom causing like because in the Secret Wars 2015, right? Doom, his whole thing was he wanted to smack, the 616 and the Ultimates universe into one. So, could it be possible that he wants to do the same with
Yeah.
the MCU and the Fox timeline?
I could see that. I could definitely see that him trying to put into one, like when DC did it, right? DC combined the universes into one, right?
Right,
Like,
but I mean, but this was more like this caused like a incursion, right? And
yeah.
and Doctor Doom, like he pretty much got the I believe I don't remember all the details, but I'm pretty sure he had like Doctor Strange and a couple of other heroes from the Ultimates universe who were helping him, and I
Mhm.
believe the Maker too was involved. So they could. I mean, you could. I mean, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, would you want to have like a Doctor Doom who, again, is like a Tony Stark, Victor Von Doom variant, who maybe has his own Avengers? Like, I don't know. Maybe that might be too much considering that we do have the Thunderbolts, but I don't know. Anyway, let's continue.
Oh yeah, that's
And after seeing this movie, I think that I would be okay with that. I think that if those other characters were going to show up, this was the place to do it, and it didn't happen. So I think it's good to move on, and I'd be fine putting Hugh Jackman with other versions of the X-Men. I think.
Well,
that's
they
fine.
did
I think
say that he's not going to be recasted anytime soon, which makes sense.
also it has to be the original X-Men because Hugh Jackman didn't really connect with the younger X-Men cast. I mean, it was only
Right.
one movie, so it have to be the older cast.
I mean, it also could be possible that Wolverine is not on the new X-Men team, which, I mean, I don't know if that would work, but because I feel like if they had to do like one more movie with Hugh Jackman that wasn't Secret Wars, I'm gonna say X-Force. I feel like that would be kind of cool to see, like do an actual X-Force movie, and have like a decent sized team, but because I mean, yeah, because it's like, I mean, this movie's now successful, and I mean, like, they pretty much skirted the whole Logan send off. So, So it's like, oh yeah, after this movie, he's only gonna appear in Secret Wars, and that's it. Like, I don't know. I find that hard to believe. It's like this movie made a shit ton of money. Why not? I mean, and also too, would they make another Deadpool movie? I feel like they definitely are.
I have to. with the success of this, yeah, I think they're
If
gonna.
they want to make this happen again,
I think it's all guaranteed they're gonna make a Deadpool 4.
yeah, but if they want to do this again, because now I feel like with this movie, its success, the fact that it opened so high, Deadpool's in
Degrassi,
Disneyland.
I don't want this. Please.
Why
Maybe-
not though? That makes sense.
Want Morbius and Madame Web?
There's gonna be maybe not those characters, but
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Venom. Tom Hardy, Venom. I mean
Venom might be the only
oh
one.
yeah, if we're gonna do again, okay, I didn't even.
No.
I completely forgot. If you're going to do all the villains, right? If you're gonna have the villain team versus the hero team, and you need some, heavy hitters, maybe
But
Tom Hardy is gonna team up with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom.
No, but
I mean, that'd be pretty cool, and because right now it's like the team that in the original Secret Wars, Doctor Doom, Doctor Octopus,
I'm
Galactus.
joking. Oh, okay. I thought you were
Oh,
serious.
he said he's joking. I mean, I think they should though. Just Venom though, just Venom,
No,
and
it should be
the
Morbius.
animated movies.
It should be Morbius. It should be Morbius. Bring Morbius to
Ah.
MCU. Morbius will save the MCU.
I don't even think anybody wants to work with Jared Leto, so
Well, if they want
I would say just Tom
Jeff
Hardy's
Bridges
Venom.
apparently is. If he wants to work on Tron.
No, I do want to see that movie, but
Yeah.
I like Tron Legacy.
Disney's still willing to work with Jared Leto.
Yeah, but
He even wants to. Yeah, Alberto.
I mean, it is his.
I mean, how do you feel about it?
Movie, so.
Just make a Bonesaw movie.
Oh,
I mean, I'm okay with it. Blade, by the way, was a New Line, aka Warner Brothers release, and I was surprised, but also not surprised, that Wesley Snipes planted his flag so aggressively in the character. When, they're talking about, how many Punishers have there been? Like 5 or 6? And I was like, have there been? But then before I could think about it,
Yeah, there's only been 4. I thought it was 5 too, but yeah, it's only been 4.
4?
4, yes.
Ooh, what's the 4th one?
So you have Dolph Lundgren, you have
yes,
Thomas
Dolph
Jane, and then
I
you
forgot.
have what's his name who passed away, and then obviously.
Ray Stevenson, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
and
you're
then
right.
Yeah.
I forgot Dolph Lundgren was Punisher.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes' Blade says there's only ever going to be one Blade. And I was like,
Bring
what?
Dolph Lundgren.
That is a wild comment considering the very unusual delays.
Well,
in the
I mean,
Mahershala
also too there is another Blade, the TV Blade. He's in this movie,
And
but yeah, I mean, yeah, most people don't even know that. I didn't even know there was a TV Blade until like recently. So
same.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, there's another thing too. I just after this movie, man, like, are they really gonna make this Mahershala Ali Blade movie? By the way, they didn't delay it, right? It's still coming out next year.
I know.
So
The big extra filming on it, man.
I don't. I
But
mean,
yes, Degrassi. Yes, buddy. Yes.
oh, let me see. I didn't even see what he said.
Oh.
Should make it. Oh man.
What would we call it? The Avenger Scoop. This, I don't know.
It'll just be the Scoopers, and
The
they are all just like lame characters. It's like the Suicide Squad, but they all die within the first 5 minutes.
Ali MCU version of the character. So it's a very funny line, but also you're like, shots fired. It was a very aggressive line.
Yeah,
like
they kind of made fun of it.
Yeah, Deadpool like looked in the camera and was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, right, buddy." But it would honestly, I would prefer Wesley Snipes over Mahershala Ali, just because it's like, I mean, an older Blade sounds. I mean, even though Mahershala Ali's like 50, right? I don't know. An old Blade sounds way more cool.
Wesley Snipes is 10 years older.
Yeah. I mean, Mahershala Ali, like, I don't know, man. He must be like, what the fuck, like. And also, by the way, too, again, even though I like the movie and like, yeah, they're doing some interesting stuff. Doesn't it seem kind of weird that you have this movie where Deadpool pretty much shits on the multiverse and flat out says, "Oh, it hasn't been great since Endgame."
Yeah.
And then they're pretty much just gonna like keep doing the same shit that they're doing before. Like, I don't know. seems like I'm
Yeah.
hoping something's changed. Like they got to change it up and make it more interesting. But this Blade movie, man, fuck.
It was funny, but I wouldn't be laughing if I was Mersa Ali, particularly because his film is not moving
I
forward. And
said
I'm
that.
surprised that Kevin Feige allowed the line because he's
I
like,
said
dude,
that.
why you got to create more problems for me? All right, so anyway, but this is very Deadpool.
He allowed a lot
Now,
of
I'm going to
lines,
make a whole
which is
other
crazy.
video that focuses specifically on the cameos. We're going to talk about them a little bit here, but we'll really go into them in depth on the other video. So with this one, I want to talk about story, really get into the main characters, their motivations, what we learn about them, and then, of course, talk about the beautiful action sequences. And that's how we're going to, the action sequences are going to be our framework for this discussion, because that's the gravy, baby. That famous or infamous, depending on how you feel about this Steven Soderbergh's famous story that I've mentioned many times, might dictate how you feel about Deadpool and Wolverine. I've seen some criticism that it's too corporate, too commercial, but I mean, hopefully that means it will perform very well as a product. But anyway, of course, that famous or infamous story about Steven Soderbergh being at the airport
I don't know,
and seeing
it being
this
like
guy who was
commercial. Like I feel like some people now are just like, I feel like some people are losing it because it's like when we say like this movie, you have this movie literally boldly saying Marvel, you fucked up, and apparently that's corporate. I don't fucking get that. Like like a corporate shit would be like what we got with the Marvels. Like it's just safe and bland and just like you're just like, yeah, there's nothing interesting here. They don't, it's not even like they're acknowledging uh the fans or even trying to like do something unique. It's just sort of like let's okay, Captain Marvel was a success. Let's just make another one and we're gonna put all these characters and we have the formula. That to me was way more corporate than this movie. This movie felt like yeah, maybe they couldn't do every little fucking joke, but they definitely had some jokes where you're like, yeah, I'm surprised they allowed them to do that.
There was a lot of jokes where it makes you like, whoa, they allowed that? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, like him literally saying, "Mark, can we stop with the multiverse? It hasn't been, and he had Nice Pool going, yeah, I wasn't good since Endgame." It's like,
yeah.
yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, because people are excited. It's just that title. I mean, the first steps is
Oh,
it's not
this
good.
first steps. I mean, yeah, it's not a great subtitle, but it's. I mean, we know now it's definitely going to be about Franklin. So I did see the leak trailer. It looks pretty good. It's definitely.
It's not really. It's not really. It's more like a test screening. It's not really a trailer. Like.
Well, I mean, parts of it look like that was parts of whatever's in there has to be in the movie because at the ending where you see Galactus, he's looking through a building. It's like, yeah, that's definitely either like some early
early
VFX
stuff.
that they did.
Because they said they haven't really started filming until Tuesday.
Yeah, you don't see the thing. The thing you see him in a shadow, and then you see. I mean that it was pretty good. Like if you're. Like the pitch of it, like okay, it's like
I know
styles like the '60s and
Galactus better look good because they could fuck up Galactus's look easily. You could do that.
I think it's going to be pretty faithful to Galactus. Again, you don't see him; you just see his eyes and his briefly his helmet, parts of it. But I mean, yeah, it looks the characters and the the tone that they're going for it.
But the thing is, I thought you see them in their astronauts costumes, right? I thought this is after. I thought they're not doing that anymore. I thought this is after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whatever is in this trailer, it's like either like advertisements. No, it's advertisements or like parts of maybe a montage, maybe a flashback. Because you also see like Reed doing like commercials. So, and then you see them like they're going out in space, but then there's also like a dating. I think it was a dating show. I could be wrong.
It was a dating show. It was like one of those dating shows where a woman asks each contestant questions.
It looked more like bits and pieces of a commercial that would like play in a
it's
montage or something like.
It's so it's a
Yeah.
dating. It's just the dating shows back in Degrassi days, like when Degrassi was younger, much
Oh
younger. Those
man.
dating kind of shows. That's not a shot at Degrassi because it's true. I mean, Degrassi is
Yeah,
much older than us, so like,
I know, but damn, just the way you said it.
because Degrassi would agree with me though, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a dating show, and everything. It was stylistically from the
Yeah.
60s. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna be that retro
Sorry,
futurism.
Degrassi, if I offend you there.
So man,
I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, but whatever was in there, I know, like, yeah, a lot of people weren't talking about it. By the way, did they show the Thunderbolts trailer? Because I didn't
I've
see
heard
it.
he showed some clips. I don't know about the trailer. The dating game.
Oh.
Thank you, Degrassi.
Well,
Some
there is
stuff.
now a rumor going around that Songbird
Melissa
is
Gold?
going to be in the movie
Oh,
because
okay.
there's a character, I don't know the actress's name, but she's playing a character named Mel, and
From where?
yeah, Mel is short for
Do you know what? Do
is
you
it
know what? Do you know what the actress has been in?
no,
Or is it no?
no. I've never seen her before. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just never recognized her from anything. Yeah, she's playing a character named Mel, which was pretty vague. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Because I think
Wait, that's not
I
Rachel.
mean, I might be wrong. Is it Melissa? Is Songbird's name?
Melissa, yeah, well that is. Yeah, Melissa Gold.
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be a
It's not
some
that
random character, but
it's not Geraldine Velasquez, right? It's not her.
I don't recognize that name.
I don't it's not that because because I believe Songbird is a Jewish name. Like you can't have like it has to be somebody like
Oh, you're saying the name of the character?
yeah, Songbird's Jewish.
No. Like I said, I don't. I just is it. That's what I was saying. Is it Melissa? I think it's Melissa. It's definitely something that sounds like Mel. It was my point.
Rocket Ship Excelsior. Songbird. Let me see.
Yeah, because I'm bad with names, like I said.
I don't.
But the actress was on stage too.
Let me see if there's anything. Okay.
I mean, if you can't find it, I guess we could just move on. But because I mean, yeah, there's not.
Not
mean,
everybody
surprisingly,
Thunderbolts. Not everybody Thunderbolts was there. I mean, they got
No, yeah, not everybody was there.
who was
But
oh, this actress. I seen it. Oh.
I mean, I hope some clips from the Thunderbolts leak if that was the case. Because I mean, yeah, I was surprised like the Fantastic Four stuff leaked, and it was pretty clear. You could see it. It wasn't like blurry or whatever, but I mean, yeah, I'm still not like I don't really care for the Thunderbolts,
I
but
don't know. I can't find anything.
I'll watch a trailer and if it looks good, yeah. But I mean, if the whole thing is like, oh, asterisk because it's the Dark Avengers, why even call it Thunderbolts? Because I feel like it's just like confusing. It's like you're gonna have to have give a reason of why they're called the Thunderbolts, and they had to even explain that that Thunderbolts has nothing to do with the Thunderbolt Ross, which is like, yeah, why do you have a movie with a character Thunderbolt Ross, in it, and they're so close together? It's just like, I don't know. Just, I get it. You don't want to call it Dark Avengers, but
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah.
Like in the target demographic for Hollywood, right? Like mid-30s. And he was watching, I believe it was, what was it? Like Civil War, I think is the story. And so he was watching the movie and he was just not watching the actual film. He was just fast forwarding from action sequence to action sequence. And, you know, everybody might be like, that's disgusting. But Civil War and the movies that followed it, also from the Russo brothers, were incredibly successful. And now that they're no longer following that same formula, not as much.
The
So
thing
I
is,
think it was
like,
smart
if
for
you
Deadpool and
that guy
Wolverine.
probably seen the movie and was just like, he just wanted to see the action sequences. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting story though. Like his, because it's Soderbergh is really more talking about how like these movies are definitely geared toward action sequences and the characters teaming up and doing different things. It's
I
like, yeah,
mean,
that's part of the appeal of of at least
genre,
Marvel and DC, right?
the
So
comic books genre,
I wouldn't say the genre. I would say that's definitely a Marvel and DC
Marvel and
thing.
DC. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what came out today? That looked terrible. The Hellboy trailer. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna pay attention to that. Don't even remind me of that.
That's gonna be. Oh, it comes out this year too, man.
Yeah, I was reminded because I remember watching this as a kid. There was a Hellboy animated show. That was
Oh,
pretty cool.
I miss those movies.
Yeah.
To have all these
The
wonderful
good
action
ones.
sequences throughout the film, because I could definitely see myself watching the film in that way sometimes, because they're just, the
Yeah.
kind that if somebody posts it, after the movie's had its run on social media, you stop in your timeline and you actually watch it because you're like, good times. And they're very well done. I think
Yeah.
the action sequences in this film are
The
excellent.
only
All right,
action
so I
sequence I think was maybe definitely could have been better was the one where everybody's like teaming up and fighting the bad guys because the shaky cam and the editing. Oh wow, that was compared to
Yes.
every other sequence in the movie, that one felt like either a reshoot or they were trying to maybe like do it quickly. I don't know. It was not. It was like for something for all the sequences have been really smooth and you could see what's going on. That one you're like, very quick. People are running around, explosions. I mean, you get to see the characters use their powers and, do their famous moves, right? But it still was like, yeah, I wish this was a little bit more smoother and, so you could see everything a little clearer. Instead of it being like, this is hectic as fuck. It's like, look at the end, look at the scene where they fight all the Deadpools. That was hectic as
Mhm.
fuck, but you got
Plus,
to
Red, I
see
want you
everything
here. That's
clearly.
why. Good, Red. I want you in the chat, buddy. What do you think of some of you?
Oh man, where's Red? I didn't even see his comment.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, look, that's his avatar right now. That's his real avatar.
Yeah, Asterix is like,
counted 6 action
Yeah.
sequences in the film
Yeah.
overall, and we're going to go through them in order. So, like the 2 other Deadpool
I
movies,
want you
our
to
opening
chat,
credit
Red.
sequences.
Find out why people are giving naturally friendly
yeah.
Hello toothpaste 5 stars.
You really gotta try this.
Hello.
An action scene with plenty of props to write the credits on. First Deadpool was that like highway
Give a
car
like,
chase-esque sequence, right? The second Deadpool was a James Bond style opening, which was very funny.
Yeah,
And here
I
it's
like that
Deadpool using Logan's adamantium skeleton, which he digs up from the grave
This is-
from Logan,
this is
versus the
fucking
TVA officers, right?
Yeah,
to
that
the
was a
tune of
great opening.
NSYNC's by
That was hilarious. Oh yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing. I just love that. Oh yeah, we know Wolverine's not really dead. Come on, dead, and he just picks up the skeleton.
yeah. I mean, I mean, the Deadpool openings have always been, creative and funny, and this definitely matched the tone. It's like, yeah, we're gonna bring back Wolverine by fucking, digging up his grave and using his body. But I mean, it's dark as fuck, but it's also funny, and I mean, yeah, you
It's
get to see
hilarious.
Deadpool
Use this
clawing
as-
up people. I mean, that was afterward, right? But I
Yeah,
mean, that
this
was
is-
still pretty funny.
Yes, it's hilarious.
Bye. And as it's been already pointed out, I've seen that song came out in 2000, which is the exact same year that the first X-Men movie came out. So that's fun. I mean, the sequence is fun all by itself, but that puts a little cherry on top of it. To me, what really sold the scene, and in addition to the sweet action and camera moves, was Deadpool himself doing the NSYNC dance moves.
Yeah.
That let me know that we were
Yeah.
here to party. And I thought it was so funny.
They should have
But it was
like part dance sync and they should have like Joey Fatone or somebody in there.
No, man.
great, not only because he was doing them, but Deadpool was doing the dance moves so well. I'm not sure if that was actually Ryan Reynolds or a dance double, but his moves were on point. I was like, wow,
Yeah, it was pretty
that's
good.
incredible.
You don't get dance doubles. Actors actually do the dancing themselves.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a dance double.
Well, yeah, because there was action scenes involved, right? So
I mean, yeah, they have action doubles. I mean, he's in a
Overdoes it.
mask, right? And so it's like,
why over a dozen writers? I mean, what? Oh, okay. And Red, what are you doing, buddy?
Like, I think another comedian or any number of comedians might have been tempted to do this dance poorly. But what made it funny was that Deadpool was doing it so well. It was great. It was really, really good. Also,
Well, Bob Wells is technically not a comedian. He's an actor.
Well, why not? I mean, he just doesn't do stand-up, right?
Yeah, usually comedians start out as comedians. That's the thing.
I don't know. He does a lot of comedy
Usually-
stuff. He's an actor,
Yeah,
but
usually, I think usually people that are comedians usually start out as comedy, then they get into acting.
the thing is, he wrote this movie and he did write lines and he does improv and stuff like that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just because, I mean, yeah, he doesn't do stand-up and he also does action movies that are not comedies, but I don't know. I don't want to like discredit the work that he did because it's a lot more than most actors, right? I mean,
That's
he
what-
produced it, and wrote it, and so
Maybe it was one
parts of it at least.
Maybe it was one of the NSYNC actor, bandmates doing the dance.
So this scene is important to the movie overall because it establishes that Logan is canon, which I think if they'd undid Logan, it would have upset a lot of fans.
Yeah, but the problem is, oh wait, no. See, this is not. But this Logan's canon, right? But we know this is in his universe, the same universe, right? When technically, shouldn't Deadpool be dead? Isn't Deadpool technically a mutant? Is he a mutant?
Yeah, well, he is in these movies. Yeah,
Yeah, technically, but and when Logan's happened, technically, all the mutants were basically wiped out, right? They.
yeah. Well, we talked about this that there is a lot of like
Plot holes.
things that are.
It's
Yeah, it's like
retcon,
okay,
a little bit.
Logan's dead, but like the timeline isn't gonna. It's still gonna go on for at
Colossus is
least.
still alive. Colossus should be
Yeah,
dead.
Colossus is still alive, so I don't know.
I mean, the better idea is him. The better idea is him. Because I mean, if it was a different Deadpool, it would make more sense.
The thing is, like, they're trying to. I mean, they could have. I mean, the thing is, like, they needed a reason for Wolverine to team up with Deadpool because, like I said, I think the weirdest thing about merging all this stuff is that the Deadpool movies were never supposed to be in continuity. I mean, those movies pretty much ignored continuity
Yes, they
because
did.
yeah, there's what's it called? You see the X-Men from the 80s in the modern day. And also there's
Thank
Colossus.
you, yeah, it was a dance
There's
level.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different stuff in those movies that don't necessarily make sense. And on top of that too, Deadpool, that's what I was saying to you when we did the spoiler stream. If Logan is part of the Deadpool movies, or at least that timeline, doesn't that mean there's two Deadpools?
I don't know. I
Because
have no idea.
there's a Deadpool that was in X-Men Origins, and X-Men Origins isn't that still technically canon, or are they saying that
It
Days of
is
Future
technically
Past?
canon because we saw the flashbacks in Logan's mind to X-Men Origins.
Well, that's not even that part doesn't even make sense too if you think about
Yeah.
it. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's some stuff where it's like, yeah, this if you really are nitpicky, I guess, yeah, you could say this
Robert
doesn't
Burnett.
necessarily make sense.
Like Barbara Burnett.
I don't know, but it doesn't take away from your enjoyment. That's the thing. Like,
No.
yeah, like it's not that big of a
So
deal.
the Fox
but, yeah.
Wolverine did
No.
sacrifice himself, and that's actually the catalyst for this entire film. I think this could have been set up a little bit better because I only really put it together while I was doing my notes for the spoiler breakdown, and it's even more clever than I thought when I was watching the film. All right, so the Fox Wolverine was the anchor being for the Fox universe, and without him, the Fox universe can no longer exist, which is very meta Hollywood humor, right? I mean, that's very funny. It's like, we can't keep this universe around. This doesn't have Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in it anymore. So Paradox, making like a Hollywood executive, or perhaps more accurately, James Gunn versus the Snyderverse, that's so funny, would rather put the entire universe out of its misery right now rather than just letting it, not addressing it and letting it slowly die out.
Difference, Grace. James Gunn is doing a whole new universe, a whole new franchise. Well, it's using a franchise, start a whole new universe. This is a universe in the MCU. It's two different things. It's a two different.
Yeah, I
things.
mean, it was just a joke. Which
Oh,
was just
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Oh well. We don't
Yeah, I'm
know.
not gonna.
No, we no, but we don't know if you don't know if it's a joke or James Gunn. Because we know she takes shots at James Gunn.
I mean, yeah, she's throwing shade, but it's a
Yeah.
joke. Reed.
So that's hilarious. And Paradox, again, like a Hollywood executive, does notice that Deadpool has some value. So he gives him the opportunity to jump ship to the MCU before he destroys the Fox universe, before Paradox destroys the Fox universe. I think that's very, very.
No, Grace, you have to understand. MCU is not the universe. 616 is the universe. All the characters up to Endgame are in 616. MCU is just a name of everything. Everything.
Well, Deadpool
616.
does say in this movie he's joining the MCU.
Yeah, Ye does say that, but technically it's not with the MCU now because Fox Universe is part of the MCU now. So it's like a.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
but I mean,
a.
yeah, but it's not really. You know what I mean? Like, there's a distinction, right?
Yeah, but
Like he was jumping into the MCU timeline. He even makes that joke about like, oh, going. He doesn't say I'm going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he's like, oh, I'm gonna marvel at this cinematic. You know, he has like the joke about it, right? So, I mean, yeah, he's talking about
Nobody
jumping
is
into
a
the MCU.
box, the clown.
Mm, I mean, after this movie, I was gonna say, I mean, this would definitely take some. I mean, yeah, this would be a hassle to do, but a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie would make a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
I mean, and Deadpool is a villain of Spider-Man. We've seen that in the Ultimates
but they
universe,
would
and
water down that movie just because
well, after this movie, would they
PG-13.
really?
They
I don't
wouldn't
think
make
they would.
they wouldn't well they wouldn't let Deadpool full potential. They wouldn't let him swear. They wouldn't let him be violent. Not in a Spider-Man
No,
movie.
why though? That's what I'm saying. At this point, all the stuff that we were saying before, that's out the window now because Deadpool. First off, this movie made a shit ton of money. Second, Deadpool's literally walking around the Disney parks. Yes, he doesn't have the guns. Yes, he's not swearing, but it's still advertising a
I
rated
just
R
don't.
movie at Disneyland.
I no. Here's the thing. I just don't think anything with Spider-Man is going to be rated R.
I don't know. I feel like if I mean yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but I would say it's like
Spider
a year ago, 2 years ago, I don't think it was possible.
Spider-Man is
Now
like
I
this.
think it's
I
a
don't,
little bit more possible.
I don't know. I don't see Spider-Man ever being rated R. Because Spider-Man is their ultimate.
It
Spider-Man.
wouldn't be a Spider-Man movie. It's a Deadpool movie with Spider-Man, just like this movie.
Yeah, but I still. It's just Spider-Man's in it. If Spider-Man's in it,
Yeah, I'm not saying Spider-Man. They're not going to ever make a rated R Spider-Man movie. But I'm saying to do a Deadpool 4 with Spider-Man, that would make a shit ton of money.
it would.
Because it's like there's people who,
I
like
think
I
it
said,
would
if you
make.
played,
I think it'd make a lot
um,
of money for his PG-13. Just having Deadpool and Spider-Man in the same movie. I think PG-13 would still make a lot of money.
yeah, but let's be honest, if it's a Deadpool movie and it's a rated R and you have
What
Spider-Man,
do you
Tom
think,
Holland, and they're
Degrassi?
joking around,
What are your
that'll
thoughts,
make a
Degrassi?
shit ton of money.
Your was a
That might make way more than this movie because Deadpool has gone up against Spider-Man multiple times. There's been Spider-Man Deadpool comics, and I mean Deadpool is partly inspired by Spider-Man. Like the whole reason why he's jokey, sarcastic, was because they wanted him to kind of be Spider-Man-esque, right? So, and then obviously eventually he got the fourth wall breaking and all that stuff. But it would. I feel like it
Yeah.
would be kind of cool. Uh, I don't know.
A triple two.
No one wants to see a rated R Deadpool and Spider-Man movie.
I just don't think they'll do rated R Spider-Man in anything. That's it's not Deadpool. It's just
Even if
Spider-Man.
it's a Deadpool movie.
Look, they would even do Venom rated R, man. Sony, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is a Deadpool movie. They're going. Disney is
With
going to
Carnage.
Sony
With
and being
Carnage
like,
in it.
"Hey, here's the thing, though. Like, this is why I'm not getting that. I know this is hypothetical and it's probably not going to happen. But Disney is the one who has the merchandising rights. Sony just has the movie rights. So if anything, you would think Disney would be totally against the idea of doing that. Not really Sony. Sony is just like, we want to make money with the movies. And
What? Are they making money?
I honestly think a Deadpool and Spider-Man movie would probably make way more than even this movie because it's Spider-Man and then you have Deadpool. So
Yeah,
it's like, damn, what scenario could you put the characters through?
honestly, people that saw Deadpool, people like us that saw Deadpool, I don't think we would have saw whether if it's PG-13 or rated R. I just said my point.
I mean,
I
and
mean,
you're never
I
going
mean,
to make a Spider-Man radar movie again. But
I love playing the Spider-Man. It's a Shattered Dimensions with the
yeah, Shattered
Deadpool.
Dimension has Deadpool in it. Yeah. I mean, it would definitely be a different dynamic. I mean, it would be cool if they had because it's like I can't really think of another character, a major character for a team up with Deadpool.
That's yeah. See, Degrassi kind of agrees with me.
Yeah, I get what that. I get.
Very clever.
I'm
And
not.
perhaps the
I'm
movie
not
should have
saying
made it a
he's
little bit more.
not going to be rated R. I'm saying if you do a Deadpool 4, that's
That
kind of what I'm arguing.
Deadpool 4 will most likely be rated R. I just don't think Spider-Man will be in it.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It's not Deadpool the character. It's Spider-Man. That's because he's the
I don't know.
character that
I was just
he
saying, like after this movie and everything, I feel like
is the kids.
there's not really gonna be. Yeah, but this movie was sold to kids. That's what I'm saying. Like this movie
Yeah,
wouldn't make
but
money
there's
if it wasn't for kids.
blind. Degrassi will tell you there's some parents that are not taking their kids to see this movie just because it's rated R.
And that's fair, but how do you explain Deadpool and Wolverine,
I bitch
the
about the parents
characters at
too.
Disneyland? I
Well,
think
they're
that's like
Marvel.
I don't think like that has to be a big deal, right? You're
This
advertising a
look.
rated R movie at Disneyland.
Well,
That's like a massive deal. Like I seen
doesn't
people
Warner
talk about
Brothers
like, wow, like when have
does it
they've
advertise?
never done that.
Doesn't Warner Brothers have a theme park?
Yeah, but Disney, we're talking about Disney.
So
I'm
they should
not talking about
advertise.
any other company.
They
I'm
should
only talking
advertise
about
just
Disney.
advertise the Joker at Warner Brothers. That's gonna be rated R.
I mean, well, the thing is, Joker made. I'm sure there's kids who watch Joker.
Oh hell yeah! Well, the Joker. The thing is, the Joker is rated R, but it wasn't like too rated R. I mean, there was like
These movies would not make money if it wasn't
this
the fact that parents are
this
bringing their kids to the movie.
this movie. If you compare the two rated R movies, the first Joker and the second movie, this movie was a lot more gory, a lot more swearing, a lot more foul
For
mouth stuff
what?
like that than compared to Joker.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, Joker is more. I
Story
mean,
oriented.
there is still like some brutality in
Hey
Joker. And there's a
Peter.
lot of
Yeah.
dark moments in it.
But this movie was a lot more.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
a gory, swear a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's continue. It's a good thing I started this earlier, huh? Because like we're not even 10 minutes. We're not even halfway in. We're
Well,
already
yeah,
getting
because
off
it's hard to talk about this because it's like I don't really, like I said, I don't disagree with their points.
More clear that that's what they were doing. And in fact, the TVA acting sort of like the suits at Marvel Studios instead of that weird, very unfunny Kevin robot that they put in She-Hulk, I think could be a clever, more focused way to use
Yes,
the TVA.
Paradox is Kevin Feige.
But again,
Yeah.
maybe it's too inside baseball. As we've also often discussed, it turns out that the majority of audiences aren't interested in what's going on in Hollywood because movies and shows about Hollywood, no matter how good they are, rarely do well. So again, I think that could be, even what they do have here, could be potentially like one
could take
speed
Mariah
bump for
to
this
six points,
movie, if
right?
there is one. We'll see. You know, we're still going to see how it performs. But I loved it. You know I love Hollywood business talk. I was like Marvel's The Offer. I was having a great time. All right, so I also liked when they later came back to this
really?
fight and
You got
revisited
a
it after because the
50-year-old
end credit, you know, they did the opening credit sequence
Wow.
and they were like, "How did I get here?" Exposition, which was good because the movie was kind of slow for the first like 20, 30 minutes. So they had that big action sequence out of the gate to lock you in, or at least
The movie wasn't that slow in the first. What is she talking about? I mean, they had that. Like she said,
I heard some people say that. I don't really get it though.
Oh, that's awesome, Peter. I haven't been in the amusement park in a long time, but like they had the action scene right out of the gate. That's not slow at all.
Oh wait, Degrassi said, oh, in Regal they have like no one
Yeah,
under six and-
those. Yeah. Oh, and also
Oh well,
here,
no, yeah, 6. I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's no kids going into the movie by themselves. I'm saying the parents are bringing them.
well,
There's a lot of fucking
There's
parents.
30 those 6-year-olds going to a movie by themselves.
There's a lot of parents who
Yeah.
brought their kids to Deadpool. In my
I mean,
theater.
we had this for Logan too, right? You saw kids at Logan.
Yeah, but no, but even more so for
This
this
chick
movie.
seems insane. This is Grace Randolph, Peter. We do a lot of stuff on her. You can see.
But when I was like 15, though, they just let me go see Deadpool.
Oh, I'm
'Cause
sure
it was
that
like,
because some teenagers can handle the rated R stuff. They can. They
I do think after this movie though, like,
I,
the states' rating is just so stupid. Like, I don't really get it. It's like, it's all over the place. I mean, because it's like this. I mean, this movie's definitely gory, and I think that's probably the reason why I don't think anybody's gonna really complain. Like, yeah, it's gory, but it's not. I don't know. I think the Americans, they just don't like sex. If you have sex, yeah, they're gonna be outraged.
oh, it's more accepted in Europe.
Well, here, that no one really cares that much.
I know, no. Well, in culturally, Europe is more accepting of sex and stuff than states,
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, compared to us in the States, I feel like I've never really seen anybody outraged here. Never. Like,
I don't.
over sex or over. I mean, maybe we would talk about violence because it's like, yeah, we don't have
I
a.
mean, Americans love violence, so this radar shark fits for them. Sorry,
Yeah,
Americans.
but like I said, it was a Cineplex theater. It was pretty crowded, and a lot of people brought their kids.
Ah,
So,
man. Oh, the kids got to see Joker, man. Look. Here's the thing.
and I haven't seen anyone like I said. I feel like wouldn't there be a controversy if you have Deadpool at Disneyland? I keep saying this because Deadpool at Disneyland, and it's an advertisement for this movie, which is a rated R movie.
Yeah,
Like that to me, I feel like now that Disney pretty much opened the door to being like, well, I mean, why not do this with I don't know, other brands that make sense to do this with, right?
because for Spider-Man, they would want kids under 6 to see it. That's why.
Well, he's saying no one under 6 by themselves is
No.
what I'm trying to. Oh, no. I'm sorry. He's saying under 6. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I
why.
get what you're saying. Yeah. I mean,
Lock me
even
in.
though
So they came back to the fight, and
No,
there
Deadpool.
was a
I
baby in my theater, though. That was the crazy part.
I mean, see, the thing is, a baby in a theater. I mean, there's no. I mean, the only issue of babies in theater is probably the crying. But the baby is not going to be haunted by a movie like this because they're not going to see it. They're not going to watch it. They're not going to watch it. They're going to be looking up at the ceiling or something. They're not going to like it's like babies are not going to pay attention to the movie. Okay.
Right. I mean, this movie was marketed toward adults. I mean, all the tie-in brands or promotional brands that they teamed up with, they were all pretty like adult
Don't they
oriented.
show? Does it show sometimes ass? At least for male in PG-13. Once
Being
sometimes.
caressed in your movie will be rated R.
You get me?
Yeah.
Don't they show sometimes at least they could ask sometimes in PG-13 movies they get away with ass look the butt
If
for
it's closed,
yeah.
probably. But any type of nudity is, uh, unless it's like, I don't know, top of a guy, I think that's acceptable. And that's pretty much it.
Being mutilated slash movie. Let's see more. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
I saw
Yeah,
Watchmen when I was a
exactly,
kid.
Sam. Sam, you're right. You're right, Sam. You're right. You're right. It's true. I mean, look at the comic books. The comic books are not for kids.
I
Comics
saw
are not.
Watchmen and I read Watchmen when I was a kid, around that time. So I was like 9. It's pretty dark for a 9-year-old.
Baby should not be. Yeah, baby should not be allowed in movie theaters. I mean, that's obvious. But
Yeah, because they cry and stuff. It's a little annoying. That's the
baby
part
should
I
not be
don't like.
allowed in a lot of places. Okay.
Watchmen was okay until the ending.
PG-13 was rated for breasts.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
wasn't it because of Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones and the
yeah, in the
Temple of
80s,
Doom.
right? Yeah. That was 80. Yeah. Well, all right.
Well, the rating system, like I said, watch that documentary. It's not rated. Like their rating system is. I'm sorry, but America's fucked. That's coming from the
One of his
Canadians.
katana blades on the ground, and it quickly ricocheted up right into that TVA guy, and that was a really cool move. My whole audience was like, "Ooh, damn!" And it was great. All right, next action sequence: Deadpool using the TVA
you can
device
show
that he stole
different
from Paradox.
Wolverines?
TD has
Oh,
been
sorry.
the leader in merchant
When are you gonna get
solutions and
YouTube
helped
Premium?
us do what we do every day at the well.
You know how much YouTube Premium
Going
is?
universe hopping.
What? I mean, if you pay a month, it's like 13. I split it with my friends.
Yeah,
To
I'm
be
not
fair,
paying
but
$13 for that. Sorry, I mean,
damn, I watch a lot of YouTube. It's super convenient. I'd rather pay for YouTube Premium than Netflix or any other streaming service, to be honest, because I use YouTube way more.
did you watch that movie show that he put in Discord the other day on YouTube? You know what I'm talking
Oh yeah, I told you about how they uploaded Avengers to
about.
YouTube.
Is it still there?
Not Infinity War, but the other ones are.
Infinity War got taken down?
Yeah, and then
How?
someone that because that post I posted on Threads, it went viral, right? And some guy posted and he deleted it, but I caught it and I read it. I just laughed. I'm
So
sorry.
the original
What
Avengers
kind of
movie, they kept
you know
it.
what hold on, wait. This guy on Threads with because I posted, hey, there's a HD rip of Infinity War on YouTube that has almost 250,000 views on it, and some guy said, "Hey, thanks for letting them know so they could take it down." It's
Whoa, what's good?
copyright infringement, you fucking idiot. It was going to go down regardless.
But it's amazing how I was able to stay on it for some time. Like it usually goes.
Yeah,
But
I
the-
don't
It
understand
wasn't
that.
even
There's
the
some,
first one. Wasn't the first Avengers?
well,
there
the thing is,
before?
YouTube has something called Content ID, and
Yeah.
pretty much all the companies use Content ID. That's why people get flagged like crazy, because it's not because the companies are claiming them. It's just that YouTube is in the system. You know, if you upload a straight up Infinity War rip, it would immediately detect it because they uploaded it to their system, right?
thing
And
is,
pretty much all the companies do this.
The way they
So
tried to get rid of it for a few hours was the title.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how they got away. I really don't know how, because it's really, trust me. Even if you upload a scene of a movie, you can't even upload it. It will go straight to Content ID. So I don't even know how it got up there. It's crazy.
Yeah, on TikTok. Oh yeah, because I know on YouTube every time you upload stuff, there's the copyright stuff. I know on TikTok
Yeah.
when you upload, it has the copyrights too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean content. Yeah, you can't escape Content ID except that guy. My guess. This is my guess. It had subtitles on it,
Yes.
and maybe that
Maybe
somehow fucked up things. I don't know. It really shouldn't, but
past the
it's
ID.
crazy.
Maybe it was able to get away with the ID check or with the where you titled the.
Yeah, but even without the titling, trust me, you could do this. Everybody in the chat can do this now. If you take a scene from a movie, even if it's like 5 minutes, because before you even press publish, it will tell you Content ID. It will tell you, hey, your video, here's the fucking copyright, and if you upload it, you're gonna get flagged. So yeah, I don't understand. YouTube sometimes the YouTube maybe is broken. YouTube's fucking weird. But let's continue.
To find another Wolverine to replace the one that his world lost. Now, this to me was one of my two favorite sequences in the entire film. And let's see if you can guess what my other one was. It's pretty easy to guess because it's the best sequence in the film. But if you can guess my other favorite sequence before we get to it. So this was one of my two, again, favorite sequences.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I
You know,
nerded out
was
hardcore as a
pretty
comic book
glorious.
fan. Maybe if you're not a comic book
Pretty-
fan, you would understand how special this
Push the
sequence is.
limit.
It made me relate to those of you who are
Please,
Super
Wes.
Mario fans. I was like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that guy's
Maybe
sick.
someone who isn't a Wolverine fan would react to this film the way I reacted to Super Mario Brothers because I'm not a Super Mario fan.
Oh yeah,
But I'm a huge
100%.
Wolverine fan, and I was like, oh my God, this was incredible. So Hugh Jackman was all the Wolverines, right? Except one, which was Henry Cavill. And it was a very short cameo, but Cavill looked and sounded fantastic. He was great. And I love Deadpool's line about, oh my God,
By
it
the
is
way,
Henry Cavill.
everybody
We will
missed
treat you
this
so much
about
better
the
than
Henry
guy.
Cavill cameo. He does the move from Mission Impossible, where he like loads up his fist and then he punches him.
Grace. If you're gonna say Henry Cavill is Wolverine, show the Henry Cavill cameo because this is a spoiler review. Might as well just show it.
Well,
Right?
I mean, no, she said I don't know if she said this in this video, but she says
She
she
hates-
doesn't like people who take like screenshots or like videos of like theaters, like a theater showing of a movie.
Is that
So-
it, or she doesn't like
Yeah,
Henry
that's why-
Cavill?
No, I think that's why, because I don't think I could be wrong,
But
but I don't think she
there's-
uses images from the movie directly, unless it was in a trailer.
Because there is.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on a minute. I'm saying this on, Hold on a minute. Now I'm looking because I'm like, hold on. Because that image right there of the patch, I mean, that's in the trailer, but it looks a little blurry. It looks a little fishy to me. That's why
That
I'm
is
like,
in the
oh,
trailer. That's a trailer shot. That's
yeah, it is
actually
a trailer
shot.
shot.
It's,
But yeah, because you know how you could. I mean, the thing is, YouTube content ID. I don't know if she talked about it in this video or a stream because it was 100% Grace talking about this. But YouTube now, because either the content ID is slow with new stuff or like these companies are not uploading it content ID for new movies, right? People are just like straight up putting like cam rips of new movies, and so you'll probably see a lot of cam rips of Deadpool right now. They have like I seen one for Chris, the Chris Evans cameo, the fight scene at the ending with all the Deadpools. I mean, just type it into YouTube and you'll find it. So
she could put the
yeah,
picture.
it's kind of crazy.
There's the pictures of there's pictures of Henry Cavill's Wolverine up. She could put the picture up. She should.
I don't, but yeah, also too that she could get flagged for that too.
She can.
Yeah, you could get flagged for an image.
Really?
Yeah, if it's a leaked image too, you could get flagged. So
Even after the movies come out.
yeah, it's copyright still. It's still copyright. I was just saying even with the videos, even if it was like even if it is fair use, they'll still flag it.
Well, it's great.
Guys down the street. I thought that was so fun. It was great. It was just enough Henry Cavill, in my opinion. I really liked it. But
Yeah,
what
'cause you
really,
don't like
because you don't
Henry
want to take
Cavill.
over the
You know
movie.
you don't like Henry
But what really sold me, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's it. The movie's great. Was Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. You don't understand. Let me explain to you.
That's-
The comic books, okay, I got into comic books reading Batman and X-Men. And my very first X-Men storyline, or one of the first ones, the one that really made me be like, this is great. This is where I want to be, was Age of Apocalypse, which was a storyline that ran for I think a whole year. That's the way you do a crossover comic book event. You know, it's one of the greatest crossover events I've ever read. It would be that and Blackest Night are the two best crossover events I've ever read. And neither one
You know
of
what's
them
funny?
has ever
Right?
Grace shits on Secret Wars, but Secret Wars is the reason why all these events happen. So just saying.
Blackest Night. Blackest Night was solid, but that's your best DC one. Oof.
For an event, that one was a pretty big one. I remember that
It
one.
was, but yeah, it was.
Just
But
because all the characters and shit coming back, and you know,
yeah,
I mean the best events.
You know, Secret Invasion was good.
And the thing is, there's a lot of events. That's the problem.
But it still wasn't as good as these two. Neither one of these has ever been adapted into live action. We've been doing this for decades now, and they still haven't gotten to these amazing, amazing events.
well, Age of Apocalypse kind of was. From what
Well, Age of Apocalypse is different. Because that's I mean I Degrassi, correct me.
it's still there.
That's the one that's in the 90s, right? And it's like, isn't it like an alternate universe? I can't, because there's two different apocalypse stories. So, or is that the one from the 80s? I forget if Age of Apocalypse. No, it can't be. Because the art does not look like it's from the 80s at all. I'm gonna have to Google it if Degrassi's not in the chat.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure there's two different apocalypse.
Okay. He's still there? Because I think he went out.
Yeah, I'm still
Wait.
here. It's just that I'm Googling it, so give me a
Oh,
second.
okay. I'll continue on. Tell me when you found.
Anyway, so to see Age of Apocalypse referenced and given acknowledgement in this broader space just made me so proud. I was
Okay,
like, oh, my
Age of
baby, that's my
Apocalypse
baby
is
up
from
there.
the 90s.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Loved it. I mean, I love Age of Apocalypse so much. And Hugh Jackman looks so good. And the fact that they brought that into this, it just made me so happy. All right, so I loved all the deep cuts here. Patch, seeing Wolverine in his original brown suit. My audience went nuts for that in particular.
Yes.
I don't think it's
Okay.
not even
Yes.
read
Yes.
Age
It
of
is
Apocalypse
a
as myself.
alternate.
They were loving that.
It's not. So
No, you're staying
yeah.
there.
It's a different. Age of Apocalypse is like an alternate reality scenario where Legion, Professor X's son, tries to kill Magneto, but he ends up killing his father, and what happens is it causes a timeline where Apocalypse is
Legion.
is
yeah.
the
Now I
leader,
remember.
and that's why it's called. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of
This is-
House of M, right?
This is
but-
great to see. This Wolverine. This one at the top right.
Oh, the brown suit one.
Yeah.
Patch was cool. By the way, I mean spoilers. This is not actual spoilers. You're asking what do you mean spoilers? This is for the Wolverine game. In the Wolverine game, you play as Patch for a mission, which is pretty cool.
Like undercover.
Yeah, I mean it got leaked, so that's why.
When did it get leaked? When,
you mean the entire game?
That game
the
might get
entire game
delayed
got
now,
leaked.
That game might be the development. That game might get
No,
stopped now because
it's still coming back on 2020. No, it's I don't think so
the
because
strikes are not going to affect it. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's.
I don't think so.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about strikes, we're not talking about movies. We're talking about video games. It's SAG, voice actors. There's a strike
Most of the
GTA 6 might be in trouble though.
No, they already said no, it's not because most of the voice work is already like filmed or it's already recorded.
Okay.
That's why I say I don't think so because this game is pretty far in development. Like they're obviously still on production. That's why it takes
What about Blade?
a long time. Blade. I don't think Blade has even started production. I think that's pre-production.
Well, let's talk
because when they announced it because they announced that at the Game Awards, because they usually do that for hiring. The gaming industry does that. They announce stuff and then they try to get people. They try to recruit people to work on the project. But that game's far off. That's why I said it would be funny if the game came out first.
Yeah, we joked about that on the game.
The brown suit. Too bad they couldn't afford to have brown suit Wolverine like really fight Hulk for like a minute or so. Like we just saw the back of Hulk's head. You're like, come on, give us a couple blows, but they didn't. But still, it was very cool to see. Like during this whole sequence, my audience was just like, you could hardly hear some of the dialogue. People were just like, oh my God. And then also, tiny comics accurate Wolverine. I mean,
that was funny. I laughed so hard at that scene. When they went to the bar and there was tiny, short, comic accurate Wolverine.
But I think that was part of the joke. And this tight little black, like V-neck, like disco douche kind of look. Oh, it was fantastic. And Deadpool was like, "Oh, look at little comics accurate Wolverine, you're adorable." And then comics accurate little Wolverine hopped off his bar stool, and he was so tiny.
He's not that short. He's not midget though. He's not like I'm sorry, little Pearson. No.
We're not super politically correct here, to be fair.
Okay. Comic accurate Wolverine is not. He does not look like.
Yeah, he's not he is 5'3" though. That's the thing. 5'3" is
but he's not
short.
But there's a lot. To be honest with you, there are men that are that short.
Yeah, they are definitely. But
it's not like Peter Dinklage short guys.
It's definitely. I mean, in other parts of the world, yeah, that is common. But yeah, I mean, there are people who are that height. But
I mean, yeah, if you compare to athletes, of course, it's short.
I don't know. Yeah, but after this, yeah, it would be kind of hard to see because I know we were all like, yeah, we need to get a short Wolverine. But then when you actually see it, it's like, yeah, you kind of forget how short 5'3" is.
The thing is, usually when short. He's short. He doesn't look short because he's kind of bulky. It makes him look actually taller than he is, for some reason.
In the comics.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Right.
I also think they don't actually make him 5'3" in the comics. I don't think it's exact because of the drawing. It's a drawing, right? Yeah. They just make him short. So.
Well, it's also how you draw. Yeah, it's how you, and also like. And for movies,
because even though the proportions, I'm sure, it depends, right? Because some artists they play around with proportion.
But this Wolverine in the movie was not 5'3". That Wolverine was like.
In the movie, I'm sure he had to be 5'3". It had to. That person was definitely under 5'5" for sure.
I'm 5'10", 11.
Right.
I loved it, and it also kind of sold you on how ridiculous that is. And I mean, maybe they could make it work, but this was a strong argument.
If you want to add combat accurate Wolverine, just get Peter Dinklage as Wolverine.
Oh man.
Well, he's the only person I know that He's the only person I know that's the only person I know that's.
After this, oh hell, they're definitely not going to do no comic book accurate Wolverine.
No. I mean, when he was in the MCU, Peter Dinklage, right? Well, but they made the opposite. He wasn't short. He was a giant.
He was a giant, yeah.
A giant dwarf, right? That's what he was, a dwarf though. He was
Yes.
still a dwarf, but he was not a short dwarf. He was a giant dwarf, right?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
And by the way, dwarf is not an insult name because that's actually
Well, it's dwarfism. They have dwarfism. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's because if you know a lot of fantasy stuff, they're called dwarfs, right? Like,
Right.
I mean, dwarfs is a species or a race, whatever you think.
Well, that is
Against it.
Yeah,
But it
we can't say that. That's
But when you okay, that's I get your point there. But in the fiction,
yeah. In fiction, yeah, there are species and
Lord of the
stuff
Rings.
Yeah, in
I
Lord
guess
of the
you
Rings, yeah.
Of Snow White. Oh yeah, they're not going to be called that in Snow White, right? They're changing
I don't
that.
know.
Isn't that what they're doing now? They're changing it.
I'm not sure. I
It's
think
what-
that might have been bullshit, but
Rings of
I don't know
Power
for
now.
sure.
Rings of Power. If that comes out, they're not going to call them that anymore.
oh yeah, they're still doing Rings of Power. Oh boy.
The trailer actually looked good. That second trailer.
was fantastic. But just the love and respect for Wolverine in the comics
I think
was,
we're getting
was palpable.
Gandalf. I think we're getting Gandalf in the second season.
Oh boy.
It's too early though. This story.
I mean, it was unlike anything we've ever gotten, not only from the Fox Marvel movies, but I would even say we haven't even got anything at this level from the MCU movies. Only X-Men
Yeah,
97
Superman
has done
needs to
this
be
kind
the
of comic
tallest
book love.
person.
Also for X-Men. Oh, and I just loved it. Thank you to Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Sean Levy for that. All right, then Deadpool and Wolverine.
You
There
know
was
what?
other Wolverines. And
I really do think. I kind of think. You know what? Henry Cavill should have played the Age of Apocalypse. Wolverine, too. He should play both. of them.
Oh, because he's like,
Yeah. What do you think?
yeah.
I think he did. That
I mean, like the joke was, oh, it's Henry Cavill as Wolverine, right?
so I guess technically Wolverine doesn't.
And he's called the Calverine.
Technically Wolverine does not need to be look the same, right? The different variants of Wolverine don't need to look the same, right? Like how Wanda was and Doctor Strange. Apparently, Doctor Strange was the same Doctor Strange.
Yeah, even though he's a Nexus being, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wolverine
I
is
guess-
a Nexus being, so
I guess
don't know.
Logan Wolverine, the character Logan Wolverine, is Nexus being, but he doesn't have to look doesn't have to look identical. To them,
Right.
I guess.
Well, now I wonder, will Iron Man be a Nexus being?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or will Doctor Doom be a Nexus being?
Doom. That'd be awesome. Though.
we'll go over it in the cameo video. But those are the big ones. The other one was the Wolverine on the cross, of course.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
think I actually
pretty
ever read that storyline, which is maybe why I was like, oh, I intellectually recognize that still, but I care about the other Wolverines more. All right, so anyway, Deadpool and Wolverine round 1. This was largely the
One
footage
fight.
they've used to promote the film, so we saw
Yeah,
most
that
of
was
it.
a-
Except for
Oh,
one move,
really?
which I
Oh,
loved.
okay, thank you,
And that was the opening move when Wolverine decided to crawl towards Deadpool like a feral Wolverine, but yet somehow still looked cool doing it. Like when I
By the
described it,
way,
you'd probably
by
be
the
like,
way,
"Ooh, that must
I
look
mean,
awful." No, it looked amazing.
This is something. I mean, this is something I was thinking of because I'm like, well, technically they've done this, but I'm not gonna count it. They've never really did a Berserker Wolverine, which is the Wolverine that becomes like an animal and he almost like his eyes wide out and he just looks totally feral. I think he even like his teeth
There's
grow
feral
too.
Wolverine.
Yeah, but we've never actually seen that in live action. I mean,
No.
I mean, in I think it was Apocalypse, because he was like, coming out of the Weapon X, and he had the, the classic Weapon X outfit on, right?
Yeah.
But he was kind of like in Berserker mode, but not necessarily. I gotta find that image. I'll send you that image of what I'm talking about because it looks cool.
So I was loving that. It looked so cool. It was great. But then, of course, their fight was interrupted when they ran into Cassandra Nova's crew, or actually Cassandra Nova's crew ran into them. And who joined Deadpool and Wolverine? None other than Chris Evans, but not as Captain America, as Johnny Storm. To see this leak, I mean, I knew all the cameos going in, and I didn't want to ruin them for you. But to see them in the
Really
context, I didn't totally know the context and how they happened. That was great. So anyway, Chris Evans is Johnny Storm. This was funny.
Well, that show wasn't a leak, but okay. But in the context, yes.
We'll talk about, I mean, it was funny, but it was good. I liked it. I thought it was, it was a meaty cameo. But anyway, we'll talk about that more in depth in the cameo video. But all I want to say here is that when he wants to, my goodness, Chris Evans can still look very much like a movie star. He looked excellent here.
Is that taking a shot at Chris Evans? It's like saying Chris Evans is phoning it in at times. Is that what it sounds like? That sounds like a shot. Doesn't it, Blinded? Doesn't it sound like a shot?
At what?
Look. How she describes.
By the way, I did find the image of the feral Wolverine I was talking about.
Listen carefully how he describes Chris Evans.
Meaty cameo. But anyway, we'll talk about that more in depth in the cameo video. But all I want to say here is that when he wants to, my goodness, Chris Evans can still look very much like a movie star. He looked excellent.
That sounds like a shot at Chris Evans.
Well, she says it's because of his beard when he's shaved. Wait a minute. Doesn't Johnny have a beard in the movie?
Yes.
Or he's just clean shaved.
No, he has a beard.
Or like a stubble.
Well, I think
I can't even remember.
I think it's older. Like, this is obviously the same Johnny Storm from those movies in 2000s, but I think it's older than he was then.
Right.
Yeah, I think he did have, or stubble. He did have some facial hair, but this sounds.
I think she was more talking about. I don't think it was a shot. I think she was just talking about like the Captain America look. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was because she's never said anything bad about Chris Evans before, besides being in crappy movies. Of course.
I guess, like saying when he wants to, he could look like a movie star. Be like, that's kind of like saying he's phoning it in. Perhaps in some.
Maybe. Roles. I mean, the thing is, Chris Evans has been in a lot of dog shit. Besides, movies, I would say Knives Out. Yeah. That's after Endgame. That was like pretty much it. Like, everything else has just been.
Liv Schreiber.
What the fuck?
Maybe Liv Schreiber would not have made it. Liv Schreiber probably would not. I don't think Liv Schreiber would have fitted this movie. Honestly, I don't think so.
I think he could have been like a second in command or.
Yeah, he had a bigger role. He'd be to me. He would be Pyro's role.
I still would have preferred, like I said, Thomas Jane as Punisher. I think that one would have been a bigger deal in my opinion.
I mean, if Liv Schreiber did come back as Sabretooth, I hope that would be the same Sabretooth. He would play a version of Sabretooth from actually this Wolverine universe. Wolverine. That would have been awesome. Have a villain from his universe appear. But he didn't do that.
No, well, because his universe isn't destroyed, and yeah, so it doesn't really make sense. But
excellent here. I was like, wow. He and Reynolds are obviously close because Chris Evans also had a cameo in Free Guy, as you might recall, which was also very effective. Yeah. And we all know that Chris Evans can be very funny. Captain America was a very serious role, but yet he's actually a very good comedian. And it was nice to see him be able to have some fun again.
Well, this may have nothing to do with anything, but because it is Chris Evans, and now we know Robert Downey Jr. is, Dr. Doom. Well, I kind of wish. I remember there was like people making art for like Captain Hydra. I mean, that still would have been cool to see a Secret Empire take on Captain America in the multiverse.
People were not happy when they did that.
Yeah, but that's in the comics though. Secret Empire. That's when he was secretly working for Hydra.
I remember that got a lot of controversy.
Yeah, it did, but
I don't know if the MCU is going to
as a variant. It's a variant though.
Oh, as a variant.
Yeah.
Okay, as a variant. Yeah, obviously not this Captain
It was controversial because it was like, Captain America was a secret sleeper.
Nazi.
Yeah, this entire time, that's why people were mad. But if it's just a variant, people wouldn't mind as much. Plus, Chris Evans does make a good villain.
Okay.
Yeah, he does say that line.
Actually did trash talk Cassandra Nova because, during the movie, we just thought Deadpool was, setting him up to get the blame off of him and Wolverine. And Wolverine's like, what are you doing? You're going to get that guy killed. Although, what was Wolverine doing when you think about it? I guess Wolverine was like, don't be a snitch. But we saw that Chris Evans as Johnny Storm really was talking, trash talking Cassandra Nova behind her back. And that was fun because not only was it funny, but it reminded me of Chris Evans's, role in Knives Out, where he also could really, deliver a diss. So that was great.
Yeah.
All right, now let's take a little break, a side detour to talk about Cassandra Nova. There's like one comic book panel where she puts her fingers in some dude.
Obviously, there's a variant of Ant-Man. It has to be.
For what,
In-
the
in-
one that's in the void?
Yeah. Ant-Man is also a variant.
Well, I mean, every character has a variant.
Do all characters have to have variants? Do they all have to have variants?
Well, until
Do they have to?
like there's a character who isn't, and that's like some special character. But pretty sure every single character has a variant.
Or
I
these
mean, why
some-
not?
Yeah.
It's just we haven't really seen
Ted.
variants
And this
of
movie
the
just decided to really run with it.
main Avengers.
Even
team.
giving Emma Corrin these crazy long fingers, prosthetic fingers, which I actually liked. And the pink purple nails that she had, visually, it was very interesting. I was like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. But wow, was Cassandra Nova overpowered? In fact, the only reason that in this movie that anyone ever survived a confrontation with her was because she allowed it. And luckily, she wanted to stay in the void. And she only fed Alioth because Alioth demanded the rent. So after
Demanded the rent. hey, I'll pretend here. I have to sacrifice you guys so I can pay the rent in the void.
Oh boy.
she skinned Johnny Storm alive with a flick of her hand. You know, he had his eyeballs blink for a minute there. I don't know how he still had eyelids. Did he have eyelids? It was crazy. We were just all in shock. And then he, you know, just a flick of her hand, and then he collapsed in a puddle of guts and bones. But after that, I guess they had to make her a little cuckoo and erratic to explain why she just didn't immediately just kill everyone around her. In some ways, they actually kind of made her a bit like the Collector, digging through the teeth.
She's a villain. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, she was like the Collector in the void.
If she killed everybody then and now, the movie's over.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know, I mean, as a cliche, you could say that almost a lot of movies, not just comic book movies, but a lot of movies where the villain has the heroes, whether it's a comic book movie, but has a protagonist in their grasp, they can just kill them there and now, and they'll be fine, right? Nothing happens to the villains. But if that's the case, the movie's over, the TV show's over, like. Right? Like, in real life, you'd be like, yeah, kill him. You would kill him. But this is not real life. This is a movie or a TV show. Yeah, hey, I wonder if there's a multiverse villain. No, not a multiverse villain, but multiverse variant of me, you, Blinded, and Degrassi, you know, everybody in our universe. What's the variant of Grace Randolph? Variant of Grace Randolph with John Campia.
A variant of Grace. Yeah, would there be like, she's like John Campia in a wig? That's one of the Grace Randolph variants in the multiverse.
She'll be back. But she'll be back. What happened to her? I don't know if she'll be back after what happened to her. She got basically vaporized, kind of.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
there's variants.
But this is comic books. I mean, what is the one thing about comics? We learn about comic books. People come back.
Well, as of what just happened yesterday, pretty much everybody's coming back.
Well, yeah,
and I mean, Chris Evans did come back, right?
It's a comic books in general, right? It's like people come back from the dead. Like, nobody truly. What's the saying in comic books? Nobody truly stays dead, right?
Yeah, no one stays dead. Even Uncle Ben.
Race Randolph.
Grant. Oh man.
TVA's trash to put together her own set of misfits, although they never really explained why she wanted that. They also didn't explain that, lucky for Wolverine, she was really enamored with the idea of getting a Wolverine for herself, because apparently they rarely, if ever, get pruned. But, you know, none of this was explained. And maybe that's a hang-up for some of you. But the movie was moving at such a fast pace and giving me so many goodies that I didn't care. I was like, whatever, I get it. All right, I will say, though, that it's shocking that yet another MCU does not make it past a movie. I mean, they have to understand at Marvel Studios at this point that it's become a running gag for them, and not like, you know, laughter at their expense. They gotta let some of these villains stick around, even if they are ridiculously overpowered. All right, so Deadpool and Wolverine managed to escape. I mean, it didn't make any sense how they escaped, but I liked how they kind of like tutted across the screen before crashing into that mountainside.
By the way, someone said that there was no
but anyway,
Sentinels in the movie, but there were Sentinel legs in the movie. No, like there was like 2 times we've seen it. Like the first time when they got knocked out, and then the second time when they were escaping.
Why would it set? Oh, maybe they
I'm
could
pretty sure it was a Sentinel leg. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
like
Well,
the
there are
Sentinel legs from the what was that, X-Men Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
From the 70s.
Yeah.
It looked like it, but I mean I could be wrong.
There are some characters. Oh, by the way, yeah, Psylocke was in this part of this group, and it was not Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
I saw an up close picture of on X, a
Yeah.
Psylocke. It was not Olivia Munn. It was somebody
No, it
else.
doesn't even look. The person doesn't even have the same costume too. It's
No.
but it's Psylocke though.
Yeah. What a waste. Psylocke would be pissed off.
All right, let's continue.
I hope not. I mean, just kill her off. Don't I hope not.
Decide to go looking for the resistance fighters that they heard of, and they get into an argument in a Honda. We'll talk about Nice Pool. I loved Nice Pool. I thought Nice Pool was good. But anyway, and and he dog pool is Nice Pool's dog,
Oh, that's
and
a
then
favorite character. It's a favorite character.
Yeah,
Dogpool.
Dogpool.
Dogpool should get his own TV show.
Oh man.
Deadpool's like, "Can I have your dog if anything happens to you?" And Nice Pool's like, "What do you think's gonna happen to me?" Oh, so funny. All right, so it turns out the reason they got into a fight, Deadpool and Wolverine, is that it turns out that Deadpool made an educated wish. What a great line. I can see people using that. If this movie was really successful, I can see people using it. But unfortunately, we're in the, some people hate everything that Disney does, even if it's good stage, and maybe people will just ignore it. But educated wish is a
she's
great
definitely wrong about that because this movie was pretty much beloved by every single person. The only people who didn't like it are like these like people who are like, this movie's corporate or I don't know. They were going to find a way to dislike it, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I mean, even the people who are like anti-woke, I mean, they
Yeah.
were singing the praises of this movie.
And they made fun of they made fun of those people in this film.
Well, yeah, I feel like everybody got like an
You know
equal
what's
amount
funny?
of roasting.
It's funny. If it's a good movie, they really let that slide. Have you noticed that?
Well, yeah, because they have to stay consistent with their talking
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah. If it's a bad movie, yeah, that's the reason why. But if it's a good movie, you know what? We'll let it slide. Very hypocritical, right? Very hypocritical.
But this
Yeah.
movie, for what do you mean? But I would say this movie is definitely like it's. I mean, you would be pressed to call this woke. You know what I mean? Like they, I mean, first off, Deadpool makes several jokes that people. I mean, I'm kind of like surprised no one talked about it.
I don't think Psylocke was in The Last Stand.
Was Psylocke in The Last Stand?
I don't remember.
Now
in The Last
nah, I don't. Now I'm gonna Google it because.
I don't remember seeing Psylocke in The Last Stand. There was a girl in Second Command, but that for Magneto, but that wasn't Psylocke. That was somebody else. And I think she was in the movie.
Yes, she is in The Last Stand. I completely
Really?
forgot about this. Yes.
It might be that one then. It was definitely not.
No, it's not that one. This one looks totally different from the one that's in the movie. The one that's in the movie looks very close to Olivia Munn. It's just the costume is different, and she has like slight. Yeah, just look up The Last Stand of Psylocke. Yeah, I forgot about this.
I did not know she was in there. I saw the movie. Maybe it's because they didn't really. Oh yeah, you're right. She is in there. You know what? You know why I didn't see her as Psylocke? Because she doesn't look like Psylocke.
She's just got the hair. That's about it.
And yeah,
The purple hair.
she didn't stand out.
Yep. Completely forgot.
Yeah. I didn't.
To be
even
fair,
know.
I don't even remember the movie. I just
I
remember
knew
watching
Psylocke.
it
I just didn't know that she.
as a kid.
Oh, no. Oh.
Oh yeah, but hold on, wait, I
So
forgot.
he made an educated
one.
wish.
Before he said that, I was gonna say, there's in the movie Deadpool makes a pronoun joke.
Yeah.
He
Couple
also
times.
talks about the woke mob, and Blade says retard. So I mean, yeah, you like I said, you would be pressed to call this woke. And to be fair, they do make fun of Disney, so I guess that gained them points. But yeah, the movie's very in the middle. I feel like, which I mean, to be honest, like I hate talking about like the political stance of things because it's
Hey,
like, can we just move the fuck on?
well, this is X-Men, right? X-Men is very political, so it's gonna
Yeah,
have
but
to.
it's different, right? Like, even
Yeah.
saying it's political is like a stretch. It because it's more about yeah, human rights and like yeah, it gets into the politics of their world. But let's be honest, you're not supposed to be like, oh yeah, I hate the mutants. Get them mutinies out of here, right? Whatever they call them, the nickname they have, the slur for mutants. But yeah, it's like I don't know. Everything, like I said, everything has become political brain rot on both sides. I'm not a fan. I'm not a
Mhm.
fan.
That the TVA could help this Wolverine fix his past mistakes. So it wasn't even an educated guess; it was an educated wish. And I thought that was very funny. Although I did think the reasoning for why the TVA would not help Wolverine, great cameo from Loki, was that those things made him who he was today. And if he didn't go through those experiences, he wouldn't have saved this world. And I guess the TVA has to make those kinds of arguments because then I guess they could say, well, Deadpool, you need some personal growth. So we now need to, I guess this, the TVA is basically, saying fridging is okay. I guess, but it's, not everything is fridging, obviously, but, it's funny
What?
in the context. But,
This was the
you know,
part
but
where I don't
again, in the
understand what
moment,
she was talking about.
Yeah.
What the hell was she talking about here? Like, oh yeah, everything is. Can we play that back? I don't like what the fuck.
I'm confused as hell. Like how far back?
Well, what the fuck? Just like 10 seconds.
Okay.
funny. Although I did think the reasoning for why the TVA would not help Wolverine, great cameo from Loki, was that those things made him who he was today. And if he didn't go through those experiences, he wouldn't have saved this world. And I guess the TVA has to make those kinds of arguments because then I guess they could say, well, Deadpool, you need some personal growth. So we now need to, I guess this, the TVA is basically, saying fridging is okay. I guess, but it's, not everything is fridging, obviously, but, it's
Yeah,
funny in the context. But, but
I don't know.
fucking absolute brain rot. Okay, I understand what she's saying now. So she's saying like, okay, yeah, because Wolverine, the characters died off in his universe, they were fridged, and
Yeah.
it made him go through personal growth. Uh, Here's the thing: fridging was they were dumping love interests and characters that were like female characters and killing them off for personal development. The X-Men, as in all of them, women and men, died because of Wolverine. That's not
Yeah.
fridging. And on top of that too, killing like if like a character does die and then another character grows from it, that's also part of life as well. Like fridging is more so like when you intentionally kill a female character or a love interest to further the story to actually make the character go through something, right? And it's just like it's just become a trope, right? And Gail Simone is the one who created it. We've talked about this multiple times on stream, but I don't like Grace is just always using that word, and she's not even realizing what it means. It's like, yeah, they killed off the X-Men because of his actions, and he fucked up. It's fridging is more like I mean, yeah, I mean, because people make the argument like Gwen Stacy is fridging, which I don't know. I think it really depends, right? If it's really just there to advance the story and it kind of comes out of nowhere, I would call that fridging. But killing off a character or characters to advance, give personal growth, especially the thing is in this movie, Wolverine is going through a personal journey of like he's beaten up himself because he's failed his family and his
Mhm.
friends, his whole race, and now he's just like he just thinks he's the scum of the earth and he just wants to die, right? So,
Yes.
hell yeah, that was dumb as hell. I remember, oh man, just remember 3 years ago when there was that rumor that Marvel was going to change the name of the X-Men to the mutants. Does anybody
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I do that.
Because
That's not the
Victoria Alonso said that like it's not contemporary. That was dumb as fuck.
Well,
And I have a story about that too.
she doesn't understand what X-Men means. It doesn't mean men or female. It means Xavier. That's it. Xavier's
Yeah,
man.
it's just so dumb. Like, and I remember, so my friend, this is a side story. So my friend, he was at work, and I told him this story, right, about like, oh yeah, they're going to change the name of the X-Men and how stupid that is, right? So he asked one of his like this like his colleague, she's a woman, of course, she doesn't read comics at all. He's like, what do you think about this, right? And I was like, man, people literally have no clue what the fuck they're talking about, but they just want to like, and I know we talk about this and people overuse this term, but they just want a virtue signal even though they do not know what they're talking about. She's like, well, X-Men is sexist because it has men in the title, and there's it's like, why have men in the title? Why not just make it inclusive? It's
No,
like,
that's not
it's
what it
like
means.
it's the most, okay, first off, it was created like in a time period where even the original Stan Lee comics, they like they weren't as like heavy with the whole mutant rights theme compared to like the later X-Men comics. But at the same time, everybody knows the X-Men, and the X-Men has a abundance of female characters. So it's like, for brand recognition and because the name sounds badass as fuck, like, who cares, right? Like, you don't have to change every little thing just because it's like, oh yeah, like it says men
Yeah,
in
in
it,
the
and it's a an all-inclusive group. It's like it's an all-inclusive group, and they're called the X-Men. Like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? It works. People
No,
like it. If you
men,
change it to anything else, it's like, then why do they have X on their
men,
belt? Like, I don't get it.
men, men is termed to be used as in mankind, like
Yeah.
men, women, mankind. It means
Yeah,
the
but
Savior's
remember
men.
remember
Yeah.
that was like another thing that was like
Yes.
politically incorrect, right? Oh, we
Yeah.
can't say men.
No,
Like that stuff is just
it's
stupid,
not the
right?
it's not it's not it's, that's not how it's used. That's the thing. Men is supposed to be used as
I
in
mean,
mankind.
woman,
Yeah.
there's women. I never understood that talking point. I thought that was like, okay, like, really, we're gonna like it. First off, changing it really means nothing, and on top of that too, it is inclusive. X-Men sounds badass as fuck. Yeah, it was created in a different time period where, yeah, maybe if it was in today's time period, it would have been called something else. But let's be real. If X-Men were created today, they probably won't be popular. Let's be honest. I mean, they're popular because they were the first ones to do mutant rights in
Yes.
the superhero space and actually talk about themes that were touchy,
Hmm.
right? So it's like, at least the Chris
Oh,
Claremont and
it'd be like it's woke, it's this, you're making it's all that
yeah, but
shit.
they were, but that was not. I mean, the thing is, the reason why Marvel was so like, the thing is, Marvel was competing with DC, but they were doing stuff, in terms of like being contemporary. Like,
Yes.
they tried, right? Even though, yeah, some of the, Stan Lee tried to make it very scientific, even though it wasn't, right? Like the radiation that causes Hulk and Spider-Man to get their powers, like, that doesn't make sense. But like, that was like a talking point at the
There's
time,
people
right?
that people actually believe in real life that radiation does give you powers.
Yeah, that's
That's an actual
bullshit.
people. There's some people that really believe that. Like, come
But
on.
at the time, that's what they thought. It was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, what happens if you had radiation
Um,
poisoning or this or that?
no, you
But
get
then,
sick.
but it's like Stan Lee was like, compared to DC at the time, I feel like he did have a lot of good ideas, and Marvel. I mean, I feel like that's why Marvel worked out. It was like they were slightly edgier. They were kind of like a little bit more like, I want to say cutting edge, even though DC at the time was obviously still popular. But they just had really good ideas. Like, again, Black Panther was the first black superhero. It's like, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, people weren't really doing that. They weren't willing to like explore and be a little bit more like
Mhm.
outside there. So I don't know. I like this whole thing about like, is it woke and it's not woke enough and all. It's just really dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like political, it's just political brain rot. I think some people just like we live in a time where people kind of forget like in the past things things were the same too as they were today. Like let's be honest, nothing's really changed. So it's gotten bits better, but you know what I mean. Let's continue. We're going on a tangent here.
And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So again, a lot of times I
That's
think it
why
helps
we
that the
started
cast
early,
here
man.
delivered the lines with such sincerity and
Yeah, that's
conviction
part
that you were
now.
like,
We're
oh,
going on
right.
tangents.
All right. So anyway, they get into this fight, and so
Rob
what
going on
happened
a
to this
tangent.
Wolverine? Why is he like so hated? So we learned that this Wolverine was on a bender one day, and that's when the humans came for the other X-Men and succeeded for once. And that this Wolverine returned to find the dead bodies of the X-Men, and he flew into such a berserker rage that he not only killed the bad humans, but he killed some good humans as well. Confirming humanity's worst fear about mutants and probably
Then
himself.
why nobody went after him? Like they should go after him in the bar or whatever.
Because it was in Canada.
Oh, so yeah, he went jurisdiction.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
His
like
own worst fears
Canada's
about-
like usually a safe haven, but yeah.
Himself. So yeah, it was pretty bad. So I also like the reveal. So so when you drop something like that, when you're like, oh, this guy did something awful, it's hard to deliver on that. But yet I think that the movie did. I also liked the explanation as to why this Wolverine was wearing the yellow and blue suit. And he said it's because he was never willing to wear it before when the X-Men were alive. And I loved his line where he said, God forbid they actually thought I wanted to be there. That was beautiful. That was really great. That he felt such guilt over being too cool.
I want to know why she used this picture of the X-Men.
Because of the costumes.
Yeah, but she could find another costume with the same costume, another picture with that costume, no? Because why is Psylocke like Psylocke doesn't make sense for this video.
Not really, but the point is like the costumes, like
Yeah, I know.
those are the classic costumes.
I mean, like, I would have if I chose a picture to show the classic costume. This would not be my picture of choice. I would
pick this picture. Why not? It's got Cyclops front center. You got Wolverine. We're kind of cutting off Wolverine, but
because I would want Storm and Jean Grey in my picture, just because he mentioned Jean Grey and Storm in this movie.
right. I mean, you're still getting Beast, and I mean the point is, the classic costumes, because that's what you're talking about.
But you know what? I'm not gonna that's her. This is me. This is you. We have all different things. That's it.
I mean, the picture gets her
for
point
school
across.
when he could have been at school. Now he can no longer be in school. But that was great, and he wears it now in honor of the good and the innocence. I think in some ways, because he's wearing this bright yellow and blue suit. What did Deadpool say? It looks like he fights for the Los Angeles Rams or something. That was great. But he wears it now to represent the good, even if he seemed corny. It's not corny, damn it, and that's why he's wearing the suit for the X-Men. And so I thought that was really great. I loved it. He also uses the good of the X-Men to connect.
Cliff Bar is deliciously
hell?
fulfilling, like reaching the
I'm
peak.
sorry.
The most important ingredient is you.
With Cassandra Nova to talk her down, saying that if Charles knew who she was and where she was, they would move heaven and earth to rescue her. And that's very possible too.
But she was going to kill them anyway. Again, she was planning to kill them again anyway by destroying all the other universes. So them talking to
Which
her,
also,
I mean,
she just wanted stuff in the void, right, to play with.
So
but
that's why I didn't buy. When Wolverine was telling Chuck wouldn't want this, Chuck would have loved you. I personally think she wasn't buying that bullshit.
I think she did. No, I think she did. It's just that when she discovered Pyro, she was like, well, it's a little bit weird because like the reason why she wanted the Time Ripper was because she wanted stuff in the void, and so she was trying to like basically destroy all the universes and dump pretty much everything there into the void, right? So it's a little bit wonky, I will admit, because it's like, why does she end up helping Wolverine and Deadpool if she was just gonna fucking dump them in the void again? I didn't really understand that, but yeah, a little bit.
Paradox was planning to wasn't Paradox planning to destroy the void?
He wasn't trying to destroy the void. No, I think he just was trying to destroy the the Fox universe and just get rid of it.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get rid of Cassandra. That's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, eventually because that's why he was talking with Pyro, right?
Yeah. I didn't know he was able to talk through the. I didn't know he was able to talk through the void to the TVA. I didn't know he was able to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
Because the X-Men have a very long track record of not only embracing their enemies, but sometimes joining them. So the X-Men are really fluid in many, many, many ways. And Hugh Jackman's speech, again, was so heartfelt and full of such conviction. I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go with this. All right, so back to the car fight. Loved it. Did you catch that on the radio when they started the music? First, it was that song from Jackman's The Greatest Showman, his song with Zac Efron, one of my favorite songs. The whole soundtrack is fire. But then they settled on You're the One That I Want from Grease, which was not only a great choice for the sequence, but of course, Hugh Jackman has said that he had a big crush on Olivia Newton-John growing up. So that was fantastic. The whole sequence was very inventive and fun. You know, with Deadpool saying, you know what? I love the Honda. Oh, great. And then also at the end when Wolverine had tied Deadpool up in all the seatbelts. I mean, it was great. It was really, really great. And also, as nice, the way they set it up, as nice as Wolverine was to Cassandra Nova, saying, you know, we would fight for you, he was just as cruel to Deadpool, which is why they got into that fight in the first place. Like, he was so cruel to Deadpool. Like, wow. Like, he really crossed the line. He jumped over the line. Yeah. And so when Wolverine finally, you know, finishes his tirade and says, what, now you don't have anything to say? And Deadpool just sits there quietly, and you know that Wolverine went too far.
Like, and then Deadpool just God's joke that you can't die.
I'm gonna fight you now. I like that. Like, Wolverine was just basically going to town on Deadpool. Deadpool's like, I'm gonna fight you now.
It made me realize that the one thing we will never get from Deadpool, even if he stays in the MCU, is his relationship with Death.
Yeah, I mean, because they did that, they strayed away from it with Thanos.
Yeah, and Death was never introduced in the MCU, so yeah.
Yeah.
Because that would have been kind of interesting to see, but
I'm okay with that when they didn't have to use Death as a reason for Thanos' motivation in MCU. His motivation was good enough without Death involvement. It worked.
Worked, but I still like Death. That's the thing. And personally, I mean, this was I like Infinity War and Endgame, but I mean, the one thing I would kind of like critique about the movie is, I think Thanos is like whole like, oh yeah, I'm trying to balance out the universe. Like, it's not as deep as people want to make it seem like. And honestly, it's kind of like, wait a minute, if you have infinite amount of power and you can control pretty much everything, why not snap in more resources?
You know what's a joke? Thanos is the universe is overpopulated. There's not enough resources for everybody. I mean, you have the Infinity Gauntlet because you just give them enough resources.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, why not just make more resources? Why kill everybody? It's just that's the part that didn't make sense, right?
You basically have the godlike power of the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Why not just bring in more resources then? So then people would be. That's what I'm saying. That's the part that I'm like, I don't really get it. And I know there is like, there is a branch of philosophy. I think it's called natalism, which is about like people not having kids, like pretty much to like get rid of the human population and stop having kids. But
people think the world is overpopulated.
Yeah, but it's still like, but that's in reality. In this universe where you have a device that can
when you have magic,
it's totally different.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It would have made a little bit more sense to have Death, because then it's like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to impress Death so I can be with her, and like at the ending, it's like he's with her on the sunset. It's like that would have made a little bit more. It would make sense for him to kill a bunch of people, but yeah. I don't know, because Death is kind of a cool character, and to be honest, I think another problem that I have with the MCU is, they kind of get rid of entities very quickly. I mean, look at is it Eternity? Eternity that was in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
They just kind of like get rid of that character. I'm trying to remember. Did we ever see the Living Tribunal?
Doctor Strange for like a quick.
He was in Doctor Strange. Okay, yeah, like a glimpse of the. Okay, yeah, it wasn't that much, but I mean, yeah, there's a couple of other like entities. I think even right now, I wanted to read it. Jonathan Hickman has a book about like all these gods, and entities in the Marvel universe. But I mean that was kind of Jack Kirby's thing, right? So it's kind of weird the MCU never
Yeah, Jack
kept
Kirby
him
was.
around.
Yeah.
Looks at him and says, "I'm going to fight you now." I mean, I felt what was going on with both of them emotionally so well. It was really a great sequence. Then, of course, the Void Resistance Fighters. Did you catch the Wanda tableau from Multiverse of Madness as the ceiling of their lair? But we have the Void Resistance Fighters, which end up being Elektra, that Ben Affleck
By the
Daredevil
way,
joke
another
was
Easter egg that you see before the characters come in, you actually see Daredevil's Billy Club
Yes.
hanging on the yeah.
Oh look, she has to bring this shit up.
Well, I mean,
I
it
know.
is a joke in the movie.
It is. That's funny.
ice cold. But when you get it, if you weren't keenly aware in some part of your psyche that they have had a not a great divorce, in relationship situation. So that was
Yeah, they didn't have a great divorce, but I think they kind of made up, didn't they? They kind of.
I'm not
patched it.
sure.
it's very, very funny. Did you get that joke? Did you pick up on it? My audience was like, ooh, because we
Isn't
laughed.
Ben
when we
Affleck
were
getting
also, like as I
divorced
said,
from
ice cold.
Jennifer?
Rumor
X-Men
is
now?
there's speculation now he's gonna get divorced. The J Lo and Ben are getting divorced. How many times is J Lo getting divorced?
Bruh.
Or what?
She must be crazy. She must be crazy. Well, isn't there like some rumor that she was like involved with the P Diddy stuff?
Yeah. Oh, so blind. There are some people in this world are not meant to be married.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he went back with Jennifer Lopez though. I don't really get it.
They're both. They're both in their 50s. They're both good looking.
If you broke up with her, and why come back to her like 20 years?
I mean,
after?
Jennifer
I don't
Garner's
know.
pretty hot too, man. And Jennifer Garner's a lot like J Lo that hasn't really done anything compared to Jennifer Garner.
Yeah. But I did hear that
23 was part of this group.
She's
Blade.
involved with the P Diddy shit. So
Oh, so great
Oh,
when he
that's
walked.
sus
I
as
mean,
hell.
J Lo is like J Lo. J Lo was so popular, it's so popular back in the day, and so popular now. But her movies are not that good. Her movies that
Yeah.
she's in, she's not a good actress.
No, yeah.
And her movies, all her movies, name me one good movie she was in. I can't think of any. I mean, Jennifer Garner's not the best actress either, if you really think about it, but she's better than J Lo. Shut up, Red. Man, if I had to choose a two to be with, I'd probably take Gardner. Because look at that. She looks good as Elektra there, man. Oh.
Bruh.
Out. And I think it was great for Wesley Snipes as well. And then also Gambit, who of course at one point was going to be, Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit, but that film never worked out. And I would have to say it's a good thing that it didn't. However, in a 22 Jump Street sort of way, he is the perfect Gambit for a Deadpool movie. The suit looked ridiculous, but
I love 22 Jump Street. I love that. Do you like both of them? I actually like.
Yeah, I do like both.
Are they doing a third one? They want to do a third one, right?
Remember they were gonna make it with Men in Black.
Both don't do that. Don't.
It was supposed to be but I don't know if they're gonna make a third one.
I don't
think so though.
I don't want. Just leave it. We don't need have aliens in Jump Street. Just make it the way.
It was supposed to be like a parody, right? Like
Oh yeah.
like a joke about a crossover, but yeah.
No, but Jonah Hill is better shape now, skinnier now than he was then. So.
I mean, I doubt it because he's maybe
Brie Larson
too old. But I kind of hope that they maybe bring him back as Gambit. But give him the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That Cajun accent, the whole reason that Channing Tatum wanted to play Gambit was that he said he had a great Cajun accent. So this must not be it. And they were making jokes about it and how it was unintelligible.
Yeah, like.
I mean, the accent was still pretty good, though. I don't get what she's saying here. They just kind of were making fun of it because, Cajun accent is pretty thick. It's, I mean, it's a mix of French,
it was so funny,
right?
though. Channing Tatum, I think, did a great job playing a comedic version of Gambit. I thought it was very funny. And then they take on Cassandra Nova's army of Fox X-Men stand-ins. Yeah, that's not the Azazel, that's not the Juggernaut, and that's not the Lady Deathstrike. But, I mean, while it was a little lame, I was just...
But it was...
Yeah, no one was pointing out the Russian. That's the part that makes me sad.
But she's wrong. It was them. It wasn't. It was them. It was the actual cast.
Yeah.
Whoever played them, it was them. What's she talking about? The Russians. Yeah, the Russians.
Well,
were
to
the
be
different
fair,
one.
we didn't know. I didn't know too,
But
right?
you can
Because
look
I
it
think
up.
some of them were. Yeah, that's fair.
Zazo is the only one from the 2010s, I think.
Right.
Like, right? Because he was not from the original trilogy. He was from 2010, 2011 film,
Mm. Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Right? We didn't see anybody from else. We didn't see anybody else from that franchise. We didn't see Mystique or the other villains that were part of the what was it, the Hellfire Club, right? Because the first movie was
Right.
the Hellfire Club, right? We didn't see other
Right.
villains from
Right.
there. We just saw Zazo. We didn't see Emma Frost. We didn't see any right? Like I think Zazo was the only one from that there, but all the other characters, yeah, were from like the 2000s, the X-Men in the Russian guy. Yeah.
Looking at all the cameos that we did get that were very cool, and I felt, were genuine, legit cameos. I liked them. So this was kind of like a mini airport battle from Civil War, but by far and away the best moves belong to Gambit.
Airport battle from Civil War. Are you what? That's a bit of a stretch. What did you say? That's.
For what? Say.
You said this battle was like a mini battle of the airport from Civil War.
Oh, because it's like the character. Well, not really. No.
No. This is more like the X-Men 3 movie where they had Magneto versus the X-Men. There's a lot of people in that
Yeah.
battle. Okay, this is nothing like Endgame Civil War.
No.
When
Yeah.
he shuffled his cards that were all charged up
That
in
was
slow motion,
cool.
it was a beautiful thing to see. I loved it so
I love when he
much.
charged up his
And then also
cards.
the way he was using his staff somehow. I've never seen Gambit use
What's it
his
called? A
staff that
bull
way.
staff,
That he
right?
could charge things
A bull staff. It's a bull, right? A bull
Mhm.
staff. Yeah.
by touching them with his staff. Insert Deadpool
What's
jokes
it
there.
called? What's his ability called when he lights him up? What's it called? He has a name, right? It's a
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll find out. Degrassi. I don't know if Degrassi's still here, but he'll tell us.
Innuendo jokes there, but I thought that his moves in the fight scene were the best. Then the whole point of this fight was to get the Juggernaut's helmet off of him and onto Cassandra Nova because it would block her powers from.
I'm trying to see. Is that Vinnie Jones? Yeah, I think that is Vinnie Jones. I said it the first time it wasn't. I think it is.
Wait, the Juggernaut in
Yeah.
this movie?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's
That
not?
one is not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
So
That's
somebody
what I'm
else.
saying. That it's someone else playing him. That's why I'm like, yeah. You're like, I didn't know who was who, and I heard that some actors didn't return, and I guess some did. But it's like, yeah, it's confusing. You know what I mean? So, but I'm 100% that he did not come back to play the Juggernaut. It's a different actor.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we should watch one day? The X-Men Abridged cartoon, because there is it unlocked a memory. Someone played this clip, and it's like the Juggernaut going, "I'm gonna throw you across the room, bitch," and then he throws the fucking guy. It's from the cartoons, but oh man, it was so funny. Oh man.
Her using them outward. I don't know if the helmet works that way because then why has nobody put Magneto's helmet on Charles Xavier to shut him down? I don't really think it's a two-way street kind of situation. At least I don't think so.
Yeah. So if you put a helmet on Charles Xavier, he can't use his powers.
Give me a second, because I could have swore there was a case like this, but I could be wrong, so I'm gonna have to Google it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I saw him wear hats, James McAvoy. I'm pretty sure I saw him wear a hat. Okay, we'll continue.
But anyway, whatever. I just let it go because I was having such a good time. However, it turned out the pyro was working not just for Cassandra Nova, but also for Paradox, and he shows up and shoots her while she's wearing the helmet, but you know what? Who cares? I was going to write all this out for you, but I was like, yeah, either you saw the movie or you didn't. Bottom line, to keep, just like the movie kept moving along, this
Okay,
gives
this is
Cassandra Nova the
hilarious.
motivation.
I
And
mean,
go ahead.
yeah, I forgot about this too, but Grace, that happens in X-Men 97. So yeah, I don't know. I completely forgot about this. What you were saying about the helmet, like the whole like, how does that work with the helmet and the powers? Does it block her powers? Yes, that's how it works. Because I'm like, I could have swore. I'm like, they've done this before. This has been explained. And yep, lo and behold, yeah, it was in X-Men 97 in the last couple of episodes, or I think it's the second last episode. Magneto uses his helmet to stop Charles from using his powers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's in the show. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I forgot, but that's a very recent example. So
she knows that Paradox is working against her to leave the void and also go after Paradox as Deadpool and Wolverine are, to up the stakes for the third act. Now, the important thing is that this got us to my second favorite sequence in the movie, and that's Deadpool and Wolverine versus the Deadpool Corps.
Yeah,
The Deadpool Corps
it was a great scene, but this part of the story served no purpose of the story overall. But it was fun.
was fine. I think that was Blake Lively's voice as Lady Deadpool, but I don't think she was actually in the suit. It was fine. They had all the Deadpools, and I liked it, but I liked seeing Deadpool and Wolverine slice and dice their way through them. All right, so let's talk about it. So what a scene. Get up. One of Hugh Jackman's funniest moments was where he used Dogpool as a shield to move to the new location before the fight started. And the way Hugh Jackman just kind of like walked across, I thought was very funny. That was very, very funny.
yeah,
I also really liked, as I said, all the interactions with Nicepool throughout the film. But here, especially the reveal that he was the one Deadpool who couldn't regenerate, which our Deadpool, only learned after using him as a human shield.
Yeah.
Oopsie. I mean, that was very
that was
that
another
funny.
funny scene.
But then they came out to fight the Deadpool Corps, and Wolverine put his mask on, and it looked so good. It looked amazing. It looked incredible. And they sliced and diced their way, as I said, through the Deadpool Corps to Madonna's Like a Prayer. That was great. Just an absolutely amazing.
Badass one though. I might have to say that might be the most badass scene in the MCU.
Yeah.
Right up there with Endgame, but yeah.
I'll say this: I like the mask, but I don't know if I fully like the white eyes in the MCU. I thought it was a little too cheesy.
Yeah, it definitely was reminding me of Deadpool's mask more, where how his eyes move.
Yeah.
I think maybe it should have been more like Black Panther's mask, where it doesn't move. But yeah, it was. I didn't mind it. The white eyes were cool. But I'm not sure if they should make them movable. Cause then it's like, is it his eye that's white? I mean, in the comics it makes a little bit more sense, but here I think maybe it should just be, I don't know, it's something that's over the eye and it kind of looks like an eye, but it isn't. I don't know, but I can see what you mean. I still liked it though.
It was fine. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like
It was still cool though.
Action sequences through a bus. Shout out to Shang-Chi, the other great, fantastic bus action sequence that we've seen recently. But it ended with them bursting out of the back of the bus in slow motion to create that incredibly comics accurate tableau I was talking about in my non-spoiler review. That was just a thing of beauty. Both of their masks on, the glass coming out, slow motion, Wolverine growling. I loved it. I loved it. It was amazing. Hugh Jackman, as I said, looks so good in that helmet. Way better than I ever would have thought. It's kind of Batman with the cowl, but they whited out his eyes.
I want to see it again because it's
kind of Batman with his eyes.
Fucking cool. That, and I love also another action scene that is like up there. Definitely the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 hallway fight scene.
Yeah,
fucking badass, bro. All the characters, like that was like a scene where it's like everybody got a fucking badass moment. Especially, I think the character with the coolest part was definitely Nebula, like her rebuilding her body and beating the shit out of everybody. That's why I'm like, damn, Superman. Fuck, Superman's gotta have some cool ass action scenes, man.
Yeah, but
badass as fuck.
But his actions are gonna be different. It's gonna be him flying in the air, but it's gonna be more like a brawling type while flying in the air and doing all
Well, I
this.
mean, there's other characters too, so who knows, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
But definitely, because I would say even though I like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, they weren't like the action scenes weren't
I must
the
say
greatest, I would say,
the
in
one
the first
thing.
two.
The one thing I do complain about some of the Batman stuff is the action scenes where you see Batman. No, the BVS Batman. The one good thing about BVS was the warehouse scene.
Yeah, that's undoubtable,
That,
100%.
and
Yes.
some people consider that better than anything the Marvel's done in terms of an action scene. Some
In
people
terms
say,
of an action scene,
yeah, but
I
everything
mean,
else,
I think this Deadpool Wolverine is
I
like
mean,
close to it.
yeah, but like that was probably the best thing about BVS was that warehouse scene because he took down like 30
Yeah,
guys. Batman took like 30
yeah, that
guys out.
was when that did happen. Everybody was like,
Well, that's
"Yeah, that scene." I still go back and watch that scene because it is really cool.
yeah. I want to see. I don't think like, but yeah. All right.
They've never done that with the Batman, really, except for the final armor suit for Batman versus Superman. But the white looks a little painted on like a Halloween mask to some
He
degree.
wasn't
But
wearing the armor suit when he took down those guys in the warehouse, right?
No, he was not in the armored suit.
No, he was fighting Superman with the armor suit, right? He
Yeah,
took it
it was
off.
just Superman. And
Yeah.
I think you need it. I think it would look weird with seeing Wolverine's eyes, but it worked. It worked so well
I think
because of Hugh Jackman's.
I think
The way
I do think James Gunn may use the white eyes, but I think the especially with the Batman, him not having like sometimes I okay, with the Batman it was really more unique because sometimes you actually couldn't see his eyes, but sometimes you can. And I think that's what made it a little bit more interesting compared to like, Christian Bale and Michael Keaton, where it's like they clearly have like black paint around their eyes and you always are able to see their eyes. But with Robert Pattinson, it wasn't always clear if you were looking at his eyes, which I thought was cool. I thought it's like, oh, sometimes it's in shadow, right? Or you could see
Yeah.
one eye and not the other.
His,
It was cool. I did
his,
like that aspect of
his
Batman's
action was
helmet.
pretty. It was pretty cool, but it was short.
Yeah,
Like
for
Batman,
Robert Pat. Yeah,
it was
I
short.
mean,
But
it was more in the ending, and I think he definitely has the best Batmobile scene by far, though.
oh, yeah.
It's not.
Even though the
I mean,
Spider-
yeah, I know people will say the Dark Knight, but yeah, nah, I don't. I like this
Well, the Dark
version.
Knight's not even a Batmobile; it's a freaking tank. Okay.
Yeah, but that moment where he's on the bike and
Oh yeah.
chasing Joker. But
Oh,
I
that's a good
prefer
scene.
I prefer this scene. This one was like the suspense and the atmosphere and the rain and the highway. It's like it just feels like really cinematic, very atmospheric in a way that
Well,
like
The Batman
yeah,
had cool action scenes in the dark, in the club.
yeah, the club. Yeah, I love the club where when he's like the twins answer the door and then he busts in. That was a
Oh
great
yeah,
scene.
and it was flashing dark. It was like flashing, and
Yeah,
they
it was
were
like
shooting at him.
strobe.
Oh my! And he just deflected some shots, like some bullets.
Yeah, and the
And he
way
made
and
sure,
I
and he
yeah,
deflected to make
that's a
sure it
good
didn't hit.
scene. That's a
And
really good
he
scene.
made sure he didn't hit anybody else when he
Yeah.
deflected. Like he knew what he was doing when he deflected it. Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
another
also
skill,
the
right?
sound in that scene too it was like you could feel the fucking punches. It's like,
Yeah,
damn.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good scene. Yeah, this scene I loved it because it was like obviously it wasn't really a one take. Obviously there was some CGI going on, but it was like, the tracking and then you got to see some of the Deadpools like kind of like joking around. It was very clever. It was like
And Peter.
definite. Yeah, like the one in the bus, and he's like, he's like, screaming and
What
stuff.
was
Like
that?
that was
What was that?
funny.
With the head Deadpool? The Deadpool was just a head.
Yeah, or the head. But I mean, like in the action scene where you got to see them all just like, making jokes and the way like Deadpool and Wolverine were like shoot like that. Wolverine has one like right at the beginning where he picks up the gun and just blows one of the Deadpool's head off. That was fucking badass. Like, holy shit. And then when they're all piled up and he's just like stabbing them up, that was cool. I love that scene. This was by far the
Mhm.
best action scene of the movie, without a doubt. and there was still some good action scenes in this movie. So, I mean, that says a lot, right?
I'm just tweeting something.
Okay.
No, to Tony.
Oh,
No, nothing like. Yeah.
way he moved his mouth and his jawline. It reminded me of Carl Urban, in fact, and the way he wore his Judge Dredd mask so well, even though you couldn't see his eyes. He acted with the lower half of his face, and I felt that Hugh Jackman was doing that as well. In fact, in some shots, like when they were about to go to get that machine, and Hugh Jackman looked back with the mask on and he was talking to Deadpool, he reminded me of some, particularly Joe Madureira's artwork on how Wolverine looked in the cowl. I was like, that's it. That's it. Oh, it was great.
That's it.
Which finally led to taking out, as I said, Paradox's rogue TVA machine, where Deadpool has his big character moment, because early on in the film, he's trying to audition for the Avengers and, for Happy Hogan. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he got into the main Marvel MCU universe. I guess he used Cable's machine.
Yeah, that's exactly
he does. How. That's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly how great.
The thing is, though,
Here's
the thing. I mean, I guess another nitpick, because I don't think it matters all that much, but I still have a hard time believing Deadpool is so hooked up on the fact that he got rejected from the Avengers. I know that's the entire point of the movie, but
Can America Chavez go to Deadpool's universe?
For what?
I mean, because she has that power, right? Her ability is to go to create universes, right? Teleport to other universe. So technically, she could go to Deadpool's universe, right?
Yeah, she could go to any universe.
Yeah. She could go to the Batman universe. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man.
Oh, you didn't see my tweet? Oh, I did.
No.
Did you see it on Discord?
Oh yes, yeah, the one that you sent me. Yes. Because I was gonna say I don't go on even the other Twitter that I have. I don't go on it. So.
Wait, you have another Twitter? I'm kidding. I know you do.
Happy's office was beautiful. I liked the scene very much. I thought it was great. And then he went back, I guess, to his own universe because Happy said no. I liked it when Deadpool was like, "Oh, you're standing up. That's never a good sign," because the meeting's over. So that was great. But what was really important about this, and besides it being a very funny scene, was that Happy said,
"I'm pretty sure you don't apply to be an Avenger."
Well, how did he even get in?
Yeah, does he need a resume? And how does he have And first of all, how does he have actual government information in that universe? Be like, you just hire some random guy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you don't audition. I'm pretty sure you don't get an interview to be the Avenger. I'm pretty sure they take a look at you. They're aware of you. They take a look at you and be like, "You done good? Yeah, we may want you in our team." I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I know it for a fact in DC, when somebody recommends you from a top to join the Justice League, it means they think of you. They highly think of you. They don't take auditions. They might put you on a probation period where you have to earn your way to get more better missions and more missions and more dangerous missions, stuff like that. You have to earn your way up, but they don't take auditions, right? They still recommend. Batman is you know what? Yeah, we'll let you just join. But Batman recommends people to join the Justice League, like Superman, right? I'm pretty sure the Avengers are like that too.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to join the Avengers because you need it. Deadpool really wanted to impress his girlfriend. He thought they were growing apart. But he said the Avengers, the world, has to need you. And in this case, his world needed Deadpool. He was willing to.
I don't think he'll join the Avengers. I think it'd be maybe if he does end up meeting with them, he'll probably be a friend with them, but I don't think he'll end up joining the Avengers. I don't see Deadpool. To me, he's not.
100% he's joining the Avengers.
But he doesn't fit the Avengers thing, though.
The thing is, they set him up to be on the Avengers. Because you got Thor, that Thor scene is definitely gonna come back, 100%. Because the thing is, I'm not sure if you remember this, but he's gone now. But Taika Waititi wanted to have Deadpool in Thor Ragnarok. Remember that? And there was this whole thing and Chris Hemsworth is obviously, he's been playing a lot of comedic roles. So him and Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, they'll play off with each other really, really well.
Yeah, so I feel like Thor's probably gonna hate Deadpool. I think that's what the joke is gonna be, right?
I think there's gonna be a lot of people who hate Deadpool because I don't think a lot of them agree with his methods.
Well, I don't. Well, in the context of Secret Wars, I don't. I think it's going to be a little bit different.
Well, I
But
mean, Spider-Man's not gonna agree with-
100% Deadpool is going to be on the
I mean, like
Avengers.
Spider-Man will not agree with Deadpool's methods. Like
Yeah, but the thing is, I keep like
Daredevil won't
there's a
either.
lot of characters that would I mean the thing is we got the Russo brothers. So the Russo brothers, the one thing they're really good at is they know like what characters like play well off of each other.
Mhm.
And you can already tell like there's a couple of characters I feel like would work extremely well with Deadpool compared to others. Like definitely Thor, Spider-Man. I was also saying like Star-Lord would probably be really funny too to see. Um but yeah, there's certain characters where you're like you're gonna have to have
Mhm.
them play off of Deadpool. So that's why I say Deadpool is 100% going to be on the Avengers. Like he's definitely going to be a main character in Secret Wars.
Still
That's for sure.
Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine too,
Don't be
definitely.
surprised. Don't be surprised if he does. Don't be surprised if he joins the a version of the X-Men.
Deadpool?
Yeah.
I don't think about that. I'm not sure about that
Well,
because Deadpool like has been on the X-Men, but it's never really. I don't know. It kind of gets annoying. You kind of want him on X-Force, but with these movies, these big movies, he's definitely joining the Avengers. But I don't know about like an X-Men MCU team. I'm not sure about that. He does
Sacrifice himself for
to
that.
be
He-
fair
he will go
though.
out-
To be fair, that X-Force by Rick Remember. Like I said, I'm bad with names. Rick Remembered.
yeah, big
Remember.
remember.
It sounds like Remembered, but it's probably remember. I can't.
Reminder.
Anyway, he has an X-Force comic that's really, really good. And Deadpool's on it, and surprisingly, Deadpool does make a very good team member. So it's just that when he was on the X-Men, like, yeah, it was played up for jokes. So I don't know.
We're almost done with this video.
Yeah.
out a hero. So maybe technically to some way he needed it as well. But at least, it was 50-50. I liked when he was doing the gag, the to pass the window, like the stair gag and all the different things. And then at first you were like, why are you delaying? And he acknowledged that. And he said, sorry, I guess I'm just really nervous to go die. And, it was funny, but also really got you in the feels as well. Aw. So it should have killed him. It should have killed him stopping the machine, as was explained to us. But Wolverine can't let him do it alone. So they do it together. And by sharing all those whatever were flowing into them from both sides of the machine, they share that trauma, and therefore they manage to survive. Cassandra Nova, though, who was also
So yeah, they managed to survive that, but like, should they survive that even together? Like,
No, but
yeah,
they did it because yeah, it was a
they
miracle.
can use them again. Yeah, they can use them again.
Of course.
Yeah, that's. All right, let's finish this. We got 2 minutes left.
the machine because she was trying to use it for evil. She does not survive. But while they both survive the endeavor, it does blow off Wolverine's shirt, which was hilarious. It was hilarious because not only had they been joking about it, but he looked incredible, as was acknowledged by not only Deadpool, but by that guy who works at the TVA.
check out
I
that.
mean, wow.
Right.
Not only because he looked fantastic, but his body was glowing and was all sweaty and it was like literally glistening like in a sci-fi way. I mean, Hugh Jackman, I know it's been tough for him, but his hours in the gym at 55, he looks incredible. He looks so good. And the MCU beefcake tradition has continued. So that was very funny and also incredible to see.
Boys.
Well, he's not on roids, but yeah. Because I mean, he's talked about it.
This man in his 50s. I mean, The Rock is in his 50s, but he's on.
But the
board.
thing is, with Hugh Jackman, the thing is, Hugh Jackman before he was in movies, I mean, he was like a gym coach, and he talked about like he did a lot of strength training, and
Oh yeah.
so he was kind of used to it. And on top of that, I mean, because he has talked about it in before, like openly, and compared to other actors, and the thing is with his physique, I mean, you can kind of tell he's a lot more leaner, so it's like it's kind of believable that yeah, like
He
wouldn't be
probably
on board.
obviously has to be leaner. It's
Especially
hard
if
to-
you compare like Chris Hemsworth. I'm pretty like
Uh,
I'm not even pretty sure it's 100%. They're on steroids. They have to. I mean that's why they
Oh
get
yeah.
so big.
With Hugh Jackman, since he's in his 50s, he probably had to work out harder than he would have 20 years ago. because you're older.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, when you do work out, um,
Yeah.
and you're older, it's still way more beneficial for you. Yeah, it's mostly like problems with your joints, and
Yes.
you're not gonna be as strong as you once were, of course, but you know, it's that's why they say it's better if you keep
If
doing it consistently. You start
if you
young and
really
then you keep doing it.
if you really buff in your 50s, 60s, it's not a good thing. It's not
No,
good.
it depends. It is a good thing.
Well,
It is a good thing because lean muscle is very healthy. Obviously, you don't want to be fucking,
oh, this
you know,
bodybuilding type? No.
no, those people. First off, one,
You get
yeah,
heart
when you're
attack.
like, yeah, you're gonna get a heart attack, and two, most of those people, again,
Avoids.
depending on what type of bodybuilding they're doing, but yeah, if you're competing, then yeah, you're going to
Even
be on steroids.
Chris Hemsworth said he has to tone it down a bit because he's entering his 40s, right?
Yeah, yeah, because you have to when you do steroids, you do cycles, right? And the thing is the health
Yeah.
ramification of
Steroids?
steroids, like, and we're
Not
talking
pretty.
about like years and years of steroids use, because the thing is, high like anybody could take steroids right now and you'll be okay. But if you do it on a prolonged period of time, like
No,
if you
yeah.
do multiple cycles, that's when that you're gonna have like in the future you're gonna have really bad health.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're probably gonna die very soon. That's the thing.
There's a lot of
From a
stuff.
heart attack, from a lot of different stuff. But
There's a lot.
his physique and the thing is, like, the reason why what because like I said, I did look up him talking about his training and stuff. And he has talked about how the reason why uh it's unhealthy isn't because yeah, he's taking steroids. Or he because he's taking steroids. He's not. But it's because in order to look like that, you have to be dehydrated.
Drink a
And
lot
that's
of
the thing,
water.
that is the
Well,
part is
dehydrated?
yeah, dehydrated is that's
Not
why
drinking
you
water?
can look like that. Yeah.
That's not a good
It's
thing.
not healthy at all.
You need to
Yeah,
drink water.
there's a lot of if you look up like UFC fighters also dehydrate and it's not good at all. Like it will
You need,
fucking eventually kill you.
you need to drink water. You
Yeah, you
want
want
to be
you well, but
dehydrated.
the thing is, they want if it's like a trade-off. It's like, yeah, you got to be dehydrated to look extremely cut, but
You could be in hospital. You could get in hospital for dehydration.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You could,
of course, obviously.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's why he's like, yeah, like the thing is, like, I bet if he does continue,
And the
they're
thing
not
with
going to show
actors,
him with the shirt off all
and
the
the thing with
time.
actors, they do this for roles, right? Sometimes for some roles, they don't
Right.
require the pro muscle, right? Sometimes it doesn't
Yeah.
require that. It's not healthy when you keep doing that, right? Over every time, right? It's not healthy when you keep changing your body,
Oh
right?
yeah, 100%. If you keep like going
Yeah.
fluctuating, that's also not good too. Yeah.
Dehydrated
But
make
like that, but
yeah.
yeah, like the thing is, like, the problem is Hollywood actors should probably be more open about like steroid use, and like say this is just for like a role, because it's like they're only doing it so they can get either big or they can look a certain way. But I mean, right now you should see it's really scary. There's like a massive rise of steroid use because it's people just. I mean, one of the most famous YouTubers right now is a guy called Sam Sulek. This guy is like not even my age. He's maybe like 22. This dude is massive. This guy looks like the fucking Hulk. Like this guy, and he's
Oh,
like
what,
abusing.
what was
He's
that?
a cool guy, but damn, like he's pretty
There
much
was like a
abusing
picture a long time
steroids.
ago of this kid, like this young kid. I forget his name, but you ever see that picture on social media? This long time ago, there's this kid that was like jacked. It's always
Yeah,
it was always like a picture. You know what I'm talking about. I forget. Yeah.
like a
Um,
famous. Was he like a YouTuber or
I don't
like
know if he was a
social
YouTuber.
media?
I don't know. I forget who, but it was like the young
Okay.
jack kid. Yeah. All right, we got to finish this.
And Deadpool got Nice Pool. He got Nice Pool's dog Pool. Ryan Reynolds'
Yeah,
interactions with that dog were so sweet throughout the film. They were some of the sweetest moments
definitely
in the
the
movie.
part.
You really were,
Definitely the
sorry,
best
Nice
parts
Pool,
of the
but
movie.
you really were rooting for those two crazy kids to get together. And it was just lovely. It was just really, really cute. So I had a great time. I thought it was a fabulous Deadpool and Wolverine story. It really was good. I think that focus, in my opinion, helped the movie. It was a multiverse movie, but it also made fun of multiverse movies. And I thought it was crazy that Deadpool called out how not great the multiverse movies have been. But at the same time, multiverse movies and shows. But at the same time, don't we still have Secret Wars to go? All right, but anyway, it was funny. It was very Deadpool-y. I think that it played very much like a Wolverine. It played very much like in the heyday of Marvel Comics when they were really, really good. They're not so good right now. But it played like a fantastic Deadpool and Wolverine team-up comic.
I'm convinced, though.
And I had the same feeling of satisfaction when I finished the film as I would.
I don't know. I'm like suspect of Grace's comic taste because she says a lot of stuff where you're like, wait a minute, like you hate this like beloved comic that is like, I get it, like it's subjective, but I don't know, like she never really goes in detail about comics anymore and like what she's reading, because she was like talking about comics recently where I'm like, dude, you like that comic and it's dog shit, but then you're saying like everything else is not good. It's just like, okay, like I don't know, like people do like Jonathan Hickman, and she was like, oh, Jonathan Hickman is just too confusing sometimes. It's like, what? Like, he's the only good writer at Marvel. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's grace for you, man. Like, that's grace for you. Very rarely.
Like, she says that, and it's like every single comic right now that's good is from Jonathan Hickman. So I don't know. Like,
that's grace for you, man. That's grace.
She also said Tom King wasn't good too, and I'm like, what? Yeah, it was a really great movie, man. Yeah, my dad loved it too. A lot of people that I saw would love the movie. It's a crowd pleaser. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's
the movie everybody's been asking.
Nice.
Hey, when are we gonna get a movie everybody loves? Well, here it is.
Well, you could pretty say Inside Out too.
Yeah, I didn't see Inside Out 2 yet.
I didn't see either, but you could put that. You could definitely put that one up there too. I mean, like
definitely.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm happy you guys, you and your family, enjoyed it, and
yeah,
we're gonna just finish this up because like we have like.
Oh yeah, Red's like 100%. He's
when I would have finished those
CRT.
issues or graphic novel. All right, so more spoiler videos coming this weekend. Until then, share your thoughts down below. Go to town. This is the spoiler video. Subscribe today, and of course, as always, you can check out some more videos.
Okay, we don't need to see this.
The thing is, The Rock has to be on TRT. He's like in his fucking. Is he? 50s. He's in his 50s, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like you gotta wonder how like he's fucking massive, and that's if you've seen like The Rock when he was like I want to say like 20, like when he was like 2018, the dude looked really skinny.
2018?
No, not 2018. When he was like 18 to 20 years
he was
old.
he was in good shape then, but he wasn't like this.
No, he was not like he was not like this.
He was in his wrestling days. He was in good shape, but he wasn't jacked.
He was still jacked, but not. This is like
not overly jacked.
He's
like
massive
this.
now.
No, but he didn't have the
50s.
he didn't have the huge broad chest that he has now. Back when his wrestling days,
right?
Like his early wrestling days, his chest is so broad now. He didn't have that back in his wrestling days.
Yeah, he's like he's fucking massive though. It's like damn.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I think some people that didn't like Marvel would like this movie.
And why does The Rock constantly lie about his height? It's like he's 6'2", like
it's not to be ashamed.
That's still tall, like, but he's got I'm 6'4", I'm 6. It's like shut up, dude.
Oh, they do that in wrestling. You know, in wrestling they always build them as taller than they usually are.
Yeah. A lot of actors lie about their heights. It's like,
or maybe the weight too.
Yeah.
What is like ashamed about their height?
Because people think that they're taller than they actually are, but they aren't.
Mm-hmm. No.
Like Chris Evans. Chris Evans is not 6'1". He's like 5'11".
And the women are not as tall. They probably wear high heels, most of them.
Yeah, the women, it kind of depends.
Or lifts.
Like
lifts. You know, people wear lifts.
Yeah, they wear lifts, definitely. Like Scarlett Johansson's really short.
Oh,
she's like 5'3".
Florence Pugh is short too, man.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, Scarlett Johansson only 5'3". Really?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
much taller though.
No, she's really short. She probably wears like
Lifts,
heels or lifts.
lifts
Yeah.
or heels.
Robert Downey Jr. definitely wears lifts because he's like 5'8", and you can see him wear the lifts too. Actually, they Gwyneth Paltrow. I mean, she's kind of, you know, we know how she is. She's a little bit weird, but she was
Crazy.
roasting him because she's like, I mean, she's a decent height, right, for a woman. She's like 5'9", right? And he's 5'8", but they
He was
they
tall.
the thing is, like, no, he's not 5'8". I think he might be shorter than 5'8",
He
but
was
he
tall.
might be like around Tom Cruise height. But yeah,
Isn't
who?
Carrie Gillian? She's like 5'9".
No, she's like 5'11". She's tall.
Yeah, 5'9", 5'11". Yeah, she's tall. Yeah, she's really
Yeah.
really tall. Like, and also I think who else is also tall?
Also, that actress that was in Guardians 3, the I forget. She's the mother of Adam Warlock. She's like 6'3".
Elizabeth Debicki.
Yeah, she's really tall.
Also, who's tall? She seems tall. I forget the actress. I'm not sure, but she just seems tall. But what's her name? I forget. I had it before I had Carrie Gillian. Shit. Fuck.
Who? Like what?
Go Gal Gadot's kind of Gal Gadot's.
Yeah, Gal Gadot's like 5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you gotta be decent height to play Wonder Woman, I would think.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is like 6 foot something, right?
Yeah, it kind of depends. Sometimes
And
they make her shorter than Batman or Superman or the
but as
same
an
height.
Amazon, yeah, but as an Amazon, she needs to be taller than an average woman,
Yeah.
right? Like, and it's hard to find 6 feet women.
Yeah, that's the thing. That are actually like a good actress and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's hard. It's all right. I think we should end it here. It's been 3 hours. It's 11 o'clock.
Mm,
This is why I started earlier because because if we started this at the normal time, 10 o'clock, it'd be 1 a.m. And
right.
we would not be going to 1 a.m.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely was rambling a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
A
That's why
little
we
bit.
start early. I did this on purpose, man. All right, man. Where we can find you, Blinded?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube or Threads, Blind and Braille.
All right.
Go subscribe.
All right. Yeah, subscribe. You can always put it in the chat, right? For people that
It's just that I'm on my phone. I'm always on my phone. That's why I never put it in the chat.
Okay, guys. Thank you for watching. But to let you before I officially tell you, promote, plug, whatever for me, Tuesday, I have a stream up. We're going to talk more about what happened last night. Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, other Marvel stuff. That's Tuesday. I would have talked about it today, but I didn't want to hold this off because
Yeah, we got to talk about Grace's reaction. Oh boy.
But that's 40 minutes, man. I don't know if I want to.
Well, maybe I'll send you the timestamp. How about
I know
that?
Wizard. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do the timestamp. We'll do that. I can do that. We could do my video. We could do my stream Tuesday, and we could do Grace Wednesday, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever works out.
Or maybe John Camp. Maybe do Grace and John Camp at the same day, same night.
Yeah, I'm curious to see other people's reaction because
Fuck, I
man,
hate
this
Grace
is
Camp, yeah. Stole my viewers. Damn.
because I did see because I went back because I was busy watching the movie.
Well,
but
Grace got so many views on his.
yeah, it was a lot. Everybody's getting views because of that. It
Not
just
me.
came out of nowhere. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you did. What are you talking about? You got like 1,000.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm gonna do it for D23. By the way, when D23 comes up, I'm doing this exact same thing.
Yeah, that was a decent stream.
Yeah.
So
D23, that's in the future. It's in 2 weeks. But D23, I think Marvel's presentation is on Friday, not a Saturday.
ooh. Well,
Yeah.
that's in August, right? The end of August
Yeah.
or September.
So if it's on a Friday, it might not be as big as Comic-Con's. Friday to me is not
Maybe, but I mean, we thought Comic-Con was going to be like 2022, right?
It was all movies. All movies.
Yeah, it was all stuff. I mean, at least they showed stuff that is coming fairly soon.
D23 will probably have some movie stuff, but it's gonna be. I think it's gonna focus on the TV. A lot of it's gonna be focused on the TV aspect. And Marvel Animation is not part of Marvel Studios stuff. It's gonna be that's on the Saturday.
Right.
Marvel Studios, I believe, is on the Friday, and Marvel Animation is on the Saturday. But we're definitely gonna do Marvel Studios. And I know, Blind, you're not gonna like this, but I might do Lucasfilms too.
Well, we'll see what they talk about.
Yeah, I don't like Collider anymore.
Yeah, Collider definitely. A lot of the people are Collider left, right?
Yeah. I mean, like the beginning of 2020. Remember, like right at the beginning, they all got let go, like during the holidays.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because I know some of them, because they have their own channels now. Like pretty much all of them that
a lot
were
of
on
them have
that
their own channels. Chris
podcast.
Marloff has his own channel with Roxy, John Wolcott.
Yep.
The only one they kept was like Perry Nemoff. I think that's still her name.
Who?
Perry Nemoff.
The girl who has like the pixie cut.
Yeah, the one who's up Collider right now that gets all the interviews. Yeah, her.
Yeah, she has a channel too.
Yeah, she does have her own channel also, but I think she still works for Collider though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but she has her own channel because I seen her.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I pretty much followed all of them because I know they have their like John. It's just John Roca. Sometimes he's just weirdly aggressive.
Yes, he is. Do you think John Camp is going to try to go D23 this year?
Maybe in a burglary. I can't even talk.
If he tries, it gets rejected again. I'm still doing a video.
I ruined the joke because I couldn't say burger. I can't even say it now. You see, like we're gone on for 3 hours and I can't even say words. I was gonna say he's gonna go in there in a mask and fucking hijack the place. That's how he's gonna get it.
Oh,
yeah, he's gonna go on Doctor.
If it gets rejected or whatever, it comes again or whatever, it makes a big.
He's gonna rage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video and stream about that. We're gonna go over that. I just have to. All right.
Yeah, guys. we need another John Campia meltdown scene.
Dan Merrill left.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan Merrill left Screen Junkies a while ago, and he has his own channel now.
Yeah, his channel's pretty good too.
Yeah.
He's actually like the male version of Grace Randolph, but a little bit better. Yeah, because he does box office breakdown too.
Yeah. Tuesday, guys. I mean, yeah, Grace Randolph did the box office today. Tuesday, movie math. Tuesday we're gonna do So like I said, Tuesday we're gonna do my Doctor Doom's my Marvel stuff. And Wednesday we'll go over Grace's reaction. Blind will get me the timestamp because I don't want to go all 40 minutes because I'll probably do a late show like at 10 o'clock and I don't want to go past midnight. Okay.
Right.
I'll see you then, guys. Tuesdays and Wednesday. And later, guys. You might see videos, though. You might see videos. Just there might be seeing videos. That's okay. Don't worry. So, okay, there. Like, share, subscribe, comment below.